We are live. What's up,
Live.
everyone? Welcome back to another EpicVerse live show. And it is the original 4 just today. No guests or anything else, which is, that's fine. That's fine, Mike.
Sound more freaking disappointed right now. God, it's just
Mike,
us.
Mike,
Freaking
Mike couldn't find anybody to come on the show, I guess, or something. So
It happens,
anybody,
and it's fine.
He asked
It's
lots
fine.
of people, but it was like, "Can we keep going?"
no
No one could understand him.
And they're like, "Nah,
Hey, you want to be on the show today?
And they were like, "Nah, Mike, we don't want to talk to you. That's fine."
Well, it was mostly that they saw Ben was on the show, and I was like, "Come on, guys, please."
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
We'll kick him if we need to. Ben, why do you look?
I'll kick Ben so fast if we can get a good.
Sometimes we get like a really weird, like wide shot of Ben and his wall. Today he looks like a grandmother doing a live stream for the first time with her grandkids.
Oh, children. Take a look here.
She's like, "Oh, hi, kids. Is it working?"
No, I'm just closer today.
You're
Yeah,
closer.
with all my hair.
Nice with your horrible background. Yeah.
Yeah, with my terrible. Hey, I mean, I could have like a poster or something in the
Yeah,
background.
you could.
Yeah, you could. Yeah.
You could.
But it's just
You
my
really
identity. Now. This black wall is just it's what I do.
Well, it's better than the blank sheet white wall that you used to have.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that is true. See,
And
the
then
problem
one,
was
like,
that
blue-
matched my
He
skin.
had like his one blue sound piece that he like
Yeah.
stuck and wouldn't stay. It just kept falling off the wall. We're like, dude, just get rid of it. And he's like, no.
That's
Did
true.
you see
I mean,
Thursday night on Tabletop? He had a top knot.
oh yeah, did you guys not see that? Oh, that's so
I did.
I also saw one originally like, "Can you cover that up, please?" It's distracting.
that was so good.
Yeah, I let's just put it this way: I don't watch the Dungeons and Dragons show that Ben is on.
Yeah.
I prefer the other one. So
He watches the one that I'm on.
I mean,
yeah,
And Disprew's on.
and Disbrew, yeah.
Yeah, he watches the one that the professionals are on.
wow. Well, I mean, wow.
Although Ben's first experience with Dungeons and Dragons, he played a gay bear guy
I did.
who was named Francis,
Yeah,
and
That's true. It
Gay
is true.
shapeshifter.
yep,
Yep.
and tried to bang everybody.
Yep. That's pretty much what happened. Yep. That's exactly right.
So apparently this is milk. No matter how much I show people that it's water, it's still milk. So
No, it's definitely water.
Yeah,
the amount of
people-
comments where I'm like, "Oh man, is Mike drinking milk?" And I'm like, "No, it's water." I'm like,
I
"No, it's
first thought it
definitely
was milk too. When I saw you just like
Watery
start
milk.
chugging that gallon, I was like, "Holy crap, Mike!"
And I kind of want to. Like now,
Dude,
I kind
I-
of think it would be fun to just get a gallon of milk and drink it on stream. Oh.
I mean, I'm not sure you
No.
can call it drinking it straight up though, because straight up would be like straight out of the cow. That would
Oh,
just
yeah,
be
that's true.
leading
That's
over.
true.
Go
Yeah.
full
I-
Homelander.
I have done that. Before.
I've done that before.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
What?
yeah.
Ben's-
It's a
Ben's
common
the closest-
practice here in America, Disbrew, actually.
Yeah. It
No, it's not. No. Hold on. Stop. No, it's not. That's not normal.
Mike, did you not realize that is a very common practice on American farms? In fact, that
I
is like
used
one of
to
the
work-
trials to
let's
determine.
put it this way: for white America, that's very common.
I actually have
well,
a
at
tweet
least-
that is perfect for that occasion. I don't know. I really need to work out how to even share my screen. The only thing I do is send links.
Mike, have
In
you
other news-
never drank milk straight out of the teat?
No. Why the fuck would I do that? No.
from a woman or otherwise.
No.
Well, I mean, I've done that.
No. I've never done that. I'm gonna share this real quick because Disbrew is a.
I think I probably-
Yeah, there we go.
There we go.
Ah, yes.
That's
Probably
actually a
good.
pretty
If you go
factual.
around just randomly sucking on cows, then I think
I know.
I think it's a legitimate comment.
It's,
What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, for some reason, speaking of milk, I've been craving milk so much recently. Like, just chugging milk. Like I whenever I want a treat, I just get some chocolate milk or regular milk or something. Just drink it.
What is
I don't know, milk's
cockroach?
good.
I'm not sure
I
you
don't
can
like
call it
that.
a craving for milk if you're drinking chocolate milk. That's
No,
like,
I haven't.
sugar.
Yesterday was like the first time I drank that in a week.
What?
But I usually just am like pull out some regular milk and
I
chug
do
it.
not like drinking just plain milk. It's
See,
What
that's
is
the thing.
no.
I didn't either, but for some reason I've been craving that recently. So
God,
Just
I'm
turn into
glad you're-
Homelander over here, huh?
maybe it's
Yeah.
no. I think it's the I think it's the sympathy pregnancy. I have weird cravings of my own. Just happens.
You just said sympathy.
Surely that'd be the other way
pregnancy in
around.
front of Disparu. I was going to say,
Pregnancy.
did you just
If you
say
was a
sympathy
baby, you'd be
pregnancy?
craving milk.
Yeah. You said sympathy pregnancy in front of Disparu. I'm like, what were you thinking, bro?
I don't know, man.
Well, you know, I don't like to
Wispy
brag,
dispy.
but I'm on my 5th.
Yeah. Okay, so somebody in the chat mentioned this, and I'm not okay.
Okay.
I was kind of hoping we'd get to the weird stuff later.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
it's happened.
Cockroach milk,
Cockroach milk. What?
superfood, or nothing but hype. There's no hype. Nobody's drinking this.
This is one of our biggest issues that we are plagued with today. Is that there's so many people out there that are trying to get us to eat bugs, and I'm not okay with it.
Did you just
No.
say plagued with?
Yeah,
Plagued.
Plagued.
plague.
No, Ben,
They've got
said-
milk in inverted commas, and that means it's not milk. That's the only thing that means.
Milk.
That's the way you're going, milk.
Milk.
The milk.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
What is like
that's
in the
just
form of
messed up,
protein
dude.
crystals?
Wow.
Like no.
No, I'm
Yeah, it's not
okay
like
with
they've
it.
actually, you know,
They're not
got on the
mammals,
little-
so it's not milk.
yeah.
Yeah, they've
It's
found
just
the
crushed
teeth
up.
of the cockroach. Yeah, they're like
Crushed up
Yeah.
proteins.
Ugh.
It's another almond.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like milk and
Imagine-
almond. Yeah.
Imagine eating like a waxworm cricket sandwich with a nice cold glass of cockroach milk.
Look,
Oh,
They're not
yeah.
even confident in the benefits. These are potential benefits, so they've not even proven or confirmed. There might be a benefit. We're
Yeah.
not sure yet.
but we're like we gotta
So
keep
far,
drinking
we've
it
got
to
20
find
gotta
years
out.
drink
talking
it.
on it.
You gotta
Yep.
drink it, everyone.
That's exactly. Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you. This is how coffee started. It's the
Okay.
same thing.
Okay.
It's just
okay,
normalized
Mike.
now
Come
in
on.
society.
Come on. There's a huge difference between a bean and a bug.
Well, is there?
What's
Yes.
the difference? What's the difference?
Because beans are things that people just naturally eat. People just don't go around.
people
just
naturally
stomping on
eat bugs. Yes, they do.
I'm
Not
gonna be
here,
honest.
not in
I kind of
civilized
agree-
society where you have cows where you
Yeah.
can make burgers out of.
I'm
People
gonna
that
be
eat
honest.
bugs
I
tend to
kind
not
of,
have beef.
Yeah, exactly.
I kind of understand what Mike's saying here, though. Like I see the
Ben.
angle he's taking.
Ben.
It may be an option for people who are lactose intolerant. It's that way you got the short stick. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Which in that case,
Yeah.
you might as well just drink almond milk or something. That's a little bit
65%
more
of people worldwide are lactose, and that is nonsense. There is
No.
no way on earth.
There is, because technically your body is not designed to process lactose.
Ben, I don't
doesn't
like
mean you're
how
lactose
much
intolerant.
you're defending this.
Unless
cockroach milk right
65% of people drink milk and immediately have to run to the toilet, they're not lactose intolerant.
Do you see
If
how
you
like,
have
You're
any
not technically designed to eat corn. You didn't evolve to grow crops.
Yeah,
Yeah.
corn doesn't.
Well, like
corn
here-
also does not
Yeah.
react well with people's bodies.
that's
It
no,
reacts
it doesn't
along
react
with
well with
every single
your
other thing
body.
we
man.
find.
Yeah,
That's because I'm allergic to it.
reacts
Ben
very
is
well with mine.
projecting over the entire United States, all over the world. He's like, listen, a lot of people can't eat corn. A lot of people, and they're like, I mean, you. And
No,
he's
I
like,
actually
"Shut
agree
up."
with him on that.
It's true.
To me, I'd just be like, yeah, just go out and like hunt steak and you'll be fine.
You know, I like how they keep saying weird things like making it a
Ultra milk.
theoretical substitute or suitable non-dairy milk alternative.
Oh,
Like they're basically pushing. Oh yeah, it's totally cool. I mean, maybe.
No
You
one's
know?
tried it in practice. No one's actually eaten this yet, but in theory, it should be amazing.
Now here we go. It has several downsides, and the
Oh.
downside is it's high in calories.
Well,
Oh,
that's a good
Too
thing.
many calories
okay.
in that cockroach milk.
250 milliliters would be 700 calories.
holy cow.
700 calories in one cup.
This is why it's like getting pushed so hard, because it's like incredibly calorie rich in a small amount, so you can very easily farm loads,
Mhm.
and that's where
Yeah.
people stop caring. It's like, oh
Yeah.
well, we found a superfood, we
Yeah.
can just pump it out cheap.
I mean,
wild.
if
Yeah,
you
it's
drink
true.
too much of
It's
this
true.
cockroach milk, which apparently they think is going to be a problem. Somebody's going to be like,
Could lead
man,
to milk weight gain.
I'm about to
I'm
chug
addicted to this stuff.
cockroach.
It could, in
just
fact,
can't
lead
get
to
it
weight
off.
gain.
Wait,
Just like legs
there it
sticking out
is!
their mouth.
In addition, there's currently no research demonstrating cockroach milk is safe for human consumption.
That's insane. Oh my
There's
god.
so much hype around this potentially
So
dangerous.
vulnerable populations such as children and pregnant women should avoid consuming it.
Wait, but if it's not safe
Don't
for
try to
human,
drink it.
No one
If you're
cares
like,
about
"Maybe you
men.
Drink it, but not.
if
women."
it's not safe
The
for
men in
human
the-
consumption, then shouldn't all people not drink it?
Well, no,
Fair
men
enough.
can. The men can be the ones that drink it, and then I suppose we find out
I
what
see.
happens
The men
according
have
to that theory.
the men have to be the test subjects.
Yeah,
Yes.
this is literally women and children afterwards.
What the hell? Lastly, and I'm like, you wrote this whole article. Made us read it all. Cockroach
not
milk is
currently readily available.
and unlikely to become affordable in the future, given the difficulty involved in producing it. Plus, many people would find the idea of drinking cockroach
I'm
milk
so
unappetizing.
Just many. There's still gonna be some that are like, oh, I've dreamt about it. This is literally a personal dream that they thought was so amazing they had to write an article about how amazing
Yeah,
it would
who
be,
wrote
and
this
then
article?
realize actually it's dangerous. No one drinks it, and it's too
who's the
expensive.
author of the article? Because it's definitely a like reoccurring dream they have.
Yeah,
We're
this is
sure
personal
it's
preference.
Yikes.
I don't even know where the.
Does it not say?
Art-
Do they not give their name?
It didn't look like it. No.
Who did hype up this dangerous food which is too expensive and makes you fat? That's what I want to know.
They're like,
We
yeah,
gotta
it'll make
eat
you
the
really.
bugs, man. We gotta eat
It's
the
okay.
bugs.
Americans don't need help doing that. So
You gotta drink that cockroach milk, bro.
Drink
we need
the
you to.
It's the latest thing.
Yeah, I love that
Oh
8% so
my
far
God.
of this vote has said that they would drink cockroach milk.
Yeah,
That's
like,
because they're
yeah.
that's
disgusting.
concerning. That's
That's
really
because
I'd
they're
go for it.
disgusting.
Yeah,
That'd
Ben,
probably
you're
just be
one
them
of them.
making their
What are you
mates drink
talking
it.
about?
I literally did not say I would drink the cockroach milk.
You literally said that you hate dairy products and you'd rather drink cockroach milk.
Wow, now you're gaslighting.
Would you eat a bug burger?
A what burger?
Yes, you
A
would.
bug burger.
No,
Yes, you would.
I don't.
Would you-
Would you eat a normal
I-
beef burger if it had bugs on for like flavor?
No, I don't. I cross the line at bugs. I don't do bugs. I will
No.
not touch them. Ugh, I hate bugs. Hate them.
But just a second
So-
ago, you were saying that you totally understood where Mike was coming from.
I
with,
understood
uh,
Mike's point, but I never said I would drink it. There's a big difference there.
So you're saying that the rest of the world just has low standards?
Yeah, they kind of suck.
That was actually
that's
the
what I
worst
would-
base thing Ben has ever said in his life.
It's just
Yeah, I wasn't expecting him to agree.
Yeah.
no.
I'm
Hey,
actually legitimately surprised by that one.
Yeah. Wow. Good job.
dude,
Ben.
especially Americans have the lowest standards. I feel like,
What?
yeah,
They eat beef though.
Yeah.
that's true.
we do
At
eat
least
a lot
we
of beef.
Freaking burgers, like a normal person.
They even
There's
make
other people that
things
eat
like
burgers.
drink
People
milk.
eat burgers. People eat burgers all over the world.
But we also eat
Well,
what is it? Skittles, and we just found out those are like really toxic for people.
I don't eat Skittles. I don't like
You
Skittles.
know, but a lot of
Yeah,
Yeah,
Americans.
someone said the casing is made out of like beetles' legs or something.
What?
Yeah, let
Yeah.
me see here.
Is that
I got
really
it.
a thing?
I don't know.
I saw it in a YouTube chat. It might not be real, but that was what
Yeah,
someone
Oh,
someone
my
super
God.
chatted that at someone talking about it.
Well, you said YouTube chat, so that leads me to not believe it right away because people
I
on
don't know.
YouTube
We'll
don't
see
know
if
what
I
they're
know.
talking about. But also, I think that I think they've probably experimented with stuff like that because unfortunately, a lot of these flavor companies experiment with a lot of things, so they may have experimented with it.
So
All right,
they
what
found
is that?
out
Okay, yeah.
are Skittles unfit for human consumption? A lawsuit says yes. This was posted
Skittles
on
are
August 4th.
unfit for human consumption.
Yep.
Well,
So
lawsuit
apparently,
says yes, so what does
this
that
was
mean?
filed on July 14th of this year,
Yeah.
and apparently it has titanium dioxide in it,
Oh,
which poses a known health risk to people. And apparently,
That's just chemicals, though. That is not bug related.
they understood that in 2016 they publicly declared it would phase out the ingredient, and it's still there.
oh, interesting.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
So
also,
I
that's
do
a
have an ad
chemical.
blocker on.
So-
up until 2015, they used a red dye called carmine, which came from a beetle, the Dactyliopius cocos
Yeah.
beetle.
Ah.
And then
Yep,
there's
I've heard
also
about that.
shellac, which is a wax secreted by a lac insect.
Yep.
So
Yeah, I mean, I don't even like Skittles that much, so I don't eat them anyway. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's kind of concerning.
a lot of it was removed in like 2015, though.
Yeah.
To be honest, there's probably a lot of things that we eat that isn't actually technically safe for human
Well,
consumption.
that's what I'm
So-
saying is like we probably do in the grand scheme of things. Like that's a chemical. There's a lot of chemicals and a lot of processed foods. So a lot
I
of that
mean,
stuff
we
is
drink
probably not great.
pop way too much in this country.
Dude,
and that's
freaking
straight up
oh
just
my
chemicals.
goodness. Like
That's
we are
he
the-
is.
We're like the fattest country in the world. Too.
right,
Yeah.
well we are, but also like with the pop thing, that's something I cut almost 2 years ago now. And like if I try it now, it's disgusting. I hate it. It's too sweet. It just like it just makes me feel awful if I even try it, if I even taste it. So that's something I'm really glad I cut out of my diet a long time ago because it's awful. And the amount people drink is absurd.
If you take the sugar out of the liquid and just see it sitting there, you're
It's
like,
awful.
I couldn't physically eat this. But the moment
Yeah,
you put it in a
right.
liquid, it's so easy to consume stuff like that.
Right.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it like literally there are sodas that have 100 grams of sugar in one bottle. And that's like a ton of sugar. I want to say that's like 4 times the daily recommended amount of added
Mhm.
sugars.
Yeah. That's
Which
insane.
is just
Yeah.
absurd. And then if you think about how much we drink that on a daily basis, there's people that consume 3, 4, 5 sodas a day.
Mhm.
Like not only is it going to rot their teeth, but just that sheer amount of sugar is just so bad
Yeah.
for you.
Which is why everyone, you should go drink some Bang Energies instead. This is not a sponsored video, but
Josiah doesn't
I don't
have
know.
the bang.
To be honest, I don't know how good the energy
All right.
drinks are for
Well,
you either.
okay,
though.
let's read the ingredient list here. On this
It's
thing.
probably safe
They're-
to say they're not good for you.
Oh,
No,
the
they
first
are not
ingredient
good
is
for 'em.
carbonated water. There you go. You're literally
Wow,
drinking
you know
water
what?
when you drink a Bang
But you know
Energy.
what? Carbonated
Yeah, that's the
carbonated
same,
water is
but-
also the first ingredient in soda. So
Is it though?
yes,
Are you sure?
yes,
Are you sure?
yeah.
Here, while you guys are arguing about this, I gotta show you the Bang Energy, this Bang Energy owner.
Bang. Does he look banging?
He is something else, man.
That sounds right.
He looks like a roided out like Papa John. Yeah, he's a really weird dude, and he looks exactly like what
Is it
you
something that
think.
you're gonna show on the stream, or is this?
Yeah, I'm trying to find the video because a lot of these are like commentary videos, but
I tried to
I'm
actually get a sponsorship with Bang Energy once, but it didn't happen, and so I'm kind of
Oof.
a little bit pissed off about that still. But you know, it's fine. It's fine.
Wow.
Still drinking them though.
Yeah, it's true.
Still supporting.
yeah, I can't find one. I don't want to like pull up somebody else's video, but like, yeah, he's a weird dude. Like, and he looks like I said, like a roided out Papa John's, and he's
Mhm.
like super
Ew.
crazy, energetic, and yeah,
Nice.
Yeah, probably
Nice.
because he's hyped up on caffeine.
because he's probably
24/7.
been doing nothing but
Yeah.
drinking Bang Energy. I'll show you guys a
I
picture.
respect
of
that
the
a
guy.
lot, actually. I respect
Either-
that.
either
I
that
know
or
you do. That's the worst thing. He's like, that's not a turn off. Like, I'm not
Either
teaching
that
me
or he's
anything.
just on
He's
drugs.
committed.
Yeah.
I almost died once from drinking energy drinks.
Yeah, I remember
So-
you telling me that story.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
So
Maybe-
after saying that, you literally before we're going, shall we see how dangerous it is for you? And like I almost died drinking.
I made the
I think we just
mistake of
proved your case.
I made the mistake of joking one time about him waking up in the morning and drinking it first thing. He's like, "That's not a bad idea." Like, this is what the guy looks like. This is like the most
That's
normal
awesome.
picture of him I've actually found, though. Like,
Don't
it's
drink
just,
it out of a champagne glass. I mean, come
Like,
on.
here's another one of him. Like this is like one of their promo videos.
Uh-huh. Okay.
That he
nice.
shows up in yeah,
Nice.
but like he's a weird dude.
You know
Yeah,
what?
There's
it
him.
looks like
There's him right there. Yeah, roided
Yeah.
out Papa John's.
That's
Yeah.
I mean, that was the biggest disappointment out of Twitch 2022. Like, they didn't have a bang booth like they did in the previous one.
yeah.
That was literally the most popular area of the entire con. And I think they were like, we've got to get rid of this. No one's
A
going anywhere
bang-
else.
a
They're just
bang booth,
around the
huh?
bang booth.
The bang booth. That's what my favorite
the bang
part about
booth.
it is.
That's pretty great. That's a
Welcome
great
to
name
the
for it.
bang booth.
It was literally just a booth with like scantily clad people dancing. That was the entire thing. They
Wow.
knew their audience and they went for it.
The problem is
They
that bang
did.
booths these days you get monkeypox, so you gotta
Yeah.
watch out for that.
Yeah,
so.
you gotta avoid those.
Yeah, you don't want to get those.
Ruthie, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Congratulations to Disbrew for 50,000. Everyone should follow him.
Oh,
on
you
YouTube.
hit it.
I did. Yes. I hit it
That's
during
awesome.
That
the
is
stream
so
yesterday.
awesome, dude.
Dude, that's awesome. I had just been I checked it not yesterday, the day before yesterday. It's like, dude, he's getting close, man. Congrats.
That's
That's
amazing.
awesome.
Thanks, Ruthie. It's like I say, it's been weird. It's like,
Yeah.
I kept expecting everything to tail off and stop, and nothing did. And now I'm here, and I don't know what to do.
Yeah. It's crazy, dude. It's
It's
crazy.
like there was someone said that your channel's just clickbait for bad television. I'm like, yeah, welcome to the party. It's been this way since February. I mean, I don't know what you were expecting or when you followed, but
Yeah. Yep, exactly.
I've always
That's
enjoyed
awesome,
bad television, and apparently people like watching videos about it. Who knew?
Yeah.
It's like, I'm not going to watch the TV. I'll just watch you say everything's trash. So I'm
There's
in my
a
element,
lot.
quite frankly.
There's a lot of people in our communities that are that talk about that, because there's people that will call out people like Jeremy or me or Disproof for watching all of these bad shows and still supporting them. But it's like then a lot of our fans are like, well, we let them. We appreciate that they watch us, that we don't have to, and then we can just hear what they have to say about it. So,
Well,
yeah.
there was always I remember one of Total Biscuit's videos back in the day, and he said, I keep getting all these comments saying, why can't you make shorter videos? And he said, I'll stop making longer videos when you stop watching them. And that's the way I see about
yeah.
everything. It's like people stop talking about a subject when people stop being interested in it. It's that simple.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. It's true.
It's amazing.
That's great, dude.
Yeah.
I'm so happy for you. That's so awesome.
Yes.
Yeah. And
Congratulations.
just gonna
50,000, man.
keep going, man.
What did you start out with at the beginning of the year?
Maybe about 2.5.
Really? That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's
I know.
awesome.
February 22nd, I was 2.8. So
That's
That's amazing,
amazing.
dude.
That's great.
that's probably
Yeah.
around 2.
That's awesome, man.
GG's.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Certain other people that have YouTube video channels should post too, but
Yeah.
You mean like you, Mike?
Yeah,
I don't
like
have a
you,
YouTube channel. I don't have
Oh,
a
I thought you
YouTube
made
channel,
one.
Ben. No. If I make one, I'm actually going to post on it. That's why I haven't made one, because I know I won't consistently post on it.
Oh, because I know you said you were making one, so I thought you had.
Yeah. Nope, I had not yet. Nope. I'll let you guys know, but I actually got to stay on top of it if I do that.
Yeah. When was the last
also-
video that you posted, Ben?
I can't even find this channel anymore. Like, it doesn't show
You'll
up
have to
at all.
filter by channel.
Yeah.
I think you only appear in search of like 400 subs.
Oh yeah, wasn't it your Black Phone review?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't
Yeah.
like talking about that movie, so we're not.
Yeah,
going
I
to,
know.
So
Yeah. Heart feelings.
Yeah.
Real quick, I wanted to. Somebody mentioned Demi Lovato in the chat, and I
Uh-huh.
just think we should acknowledge. Demi Lovato decided to go back to she/her pronouns.
Yeah.
The thing that is upsetting to me about that is, are they going to go back in every single article they've ever written about her that they called her they, and go back and change it to she/her?
right.
No,
they
because
should.
I guess, at least I read this the other day. Apparently, she just added she/her to her pronouns,
Can we kick them?
not changed them.
That's
Apparently.
not what she said. She says she's gone back to it because she feels like a woman again.
See, that's what I believe, is that she said that, but there's people
that's what the
trying to say
article
that
said.
she
Well,
just
isn't it?
added
If that's what she said, then that's what she means, right?
Well, right.
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Well, they
that
need
there
to
are
go
people-
back now, and every
Right.
single article where they said they have to change it back to she, because that's how the world works now.
Yeah.
I just
Right?
like it because some people are like feeling cute, posted a selfie. That's what this was. It was like feeling feminine, change my pronouns.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But I mean, that's what they did with like Elliot Page and all that stuff. They went back and literally
They changed so many
everything.
things. And then yelled at you if you like watched a movie, said, "Oh, Ellen Page," you're like, "It's Ellen," and they're like, "It says Ellen on the
on the credits."
tagline."
Yeah.
On the credits. So is this like a different person? Is this like a murder situation? Did you kill Ellen Page? Like, yeah.
Thing is, I can't even remember these actors' names, and they want me to remember how to refer to them in the third person. I don't stand a chance. Like, even if I'd wanted to.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah,
Well,
I know.
Speaking of they/thems, got some great news here.
How much?
We've all been
Sorry, not
really-
to. How much longer do you think it's going to take before they start putting everyone's pronouns in the credits on movies?
Oh,
I'm surprised it hasn't already happened, actually.
Because
Yeah.
Netflix started doing that when they started to promote some of their shows. Like when they would announce who was playing the characters, they would put like the pronouns next to the actors, the cast. They haven't done it in the credits yet, but I wonder how much longer that's going to be before they do that.
A lot of companies have started putting it in the bottom of their email signature. So the moment that happens, it'll probably start going into their work.
Yeah. Ben, I've actually never asked, what are your pronouns?
I never have cared enough to do it.
I thought that was going to be Ben's pronouns.
Yeah, for that exact length of time.
Yeah. So if you don't,
Any shorter is a hate crime.
so our favorite resident they them in Hollywood. Yeah, Ezra Miller
Yep.
started a cult. I mean, he didn't start a cult,
no.
but that's what everybody else is saying. If everybody says you're in a cult, are you in a cult? And by that, I mean, is everybody that is on your property being followed around by him says it's a cult? Is it a cult?
Dude,
Wait,
Ezra Miller just
on
gets
his face.
I think those.
that looks like
paint.
something written in blood.
No, I think it's paint. I think he painted himself. I
Yeah,
don't
he
think
like
There's no way
painted
you
his
can be an
face or
actor with.
something.
Yeah, because if you've tattooed that, you can't be an actor anymore. Like,
No.
it'll be just there on your face all the time.
I don't
Yeah.
think Ezra Miller's plan is to be an actor anymore.
I don't
at
think-
this point.
Well, I don't think Ezra Miller's been on any red carpet events because he told the cops, "Come find me," and they haven't found him yet.
I also think that nobody's going to hire someone that problematic.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, apparently Ezra Miller is walking around now wearing bulletproof body armor.
Oh my
They're
God.
on a compound right now with a bunch of women and like underage people.
Ugh.
And there's apparently guns everywhere in this compound. And yeah, they can't find anybody. Like they can't find Ezra Miller. I don't know why they can't.
Ezra Miller believes that they
I
are
mean,
being
if
followed
it-
by the
if it's
FBI
in a
and the
compound.
KKK.
Yeah. Well, my favorite part is like if you go on like TikTok or even Instagram, there are videos of people finding him. Like there's a video he was like at a wedding, recently at a wedding, and they're like, "Oh my God, this is Ezra Miller. Aren't the cops looking for this guy?" Like, and he's standing
And
at a
they're like,
wedding.
I don't know.
But yeah, they
Yeah,
he established a home base, financially supports artists and young women, then attempts to control and manipulate their sexual partners. But like, yeah. So he's just going crazy. He believes he's being followed by the FBI and the Ku Klux Klan. That's probably what he gets for calling out the Ku Klux Klan all over Twitter because you know they're a spiteful hate group and they're going to chase you down. Apparently,
That's-
you know.
Yeah.
Saying he was gonna like shoot them or something like that.
Yeah.
or- yeah.
But apparently, my favorite part is the FBI. Like,
yeah. I know.
It's everybody. It's the whole everyone. Yeah. So
Well, and that's the funny
Just
thing
anything
about
with
it.
3 letters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
'cause,
KFC, the lot of them.
yeah.
Colonel Sanders is
I don't
executing
think. I don't know if the FBI really gives as much of a shit as people think they do. To be honest
Mm-mm.
about
The
this.
FBI never.
So,
The FBI doesn't care about things
No.
near as much people give, near as much as people say that they do. Absolutely.
Yeah.
not.
um,
But yeah,
But yeah,
he's
so-
just been.
he's just going off the deep end and
Yeah.
just like becoming a maniacal supervillain almost.
My favorite part about this is
Great
I
character
know.
He's supposed to
study.
be the superhero.
Yeah, that somebody would probably watch this video and go, "It's they, you bigots!" As he creates a compound. Yeah.
It's a great character study.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Yeah, we
Something.
can call it that. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, be very good for a narrative someday. You know, just
yeah,
like a
or
story.
something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a
But yeah,
villain.
dude. Apparently, yeah, he's got like a mother of 3 living on his compound. My thing is, why would you live with this dude?
Yeah.
I just don't know.
Like
Yeah.
he's just attracting all these people to come live on his weird
like
compound.
who
with
is
him.
attracted to this? Is what I want to know.
A 1-year-old allegedly found
I mean,
a live bullet on the ground and put
He's
it in
probably
their
got a
mouth.
lot of money.
Oh,
Oh yeah, yeah.
yeah. That's great. That's awesome.
Apparently, one of the people that lives there suffered a LSD overdose. Like,
As
Yeah.
you do.
Yeah.
It's just normal Saturday night.
I
So
don't
we had-
understand.
We had
Yeah.
Chaz and Chop and all that stuff. What is his compound called?
He's probably
That's
going to
a-
call it Chad, you know. Like,
Chaz.
Yeah.
That's literally
That's
Yeah,
a good.
that's how he
that's a
sees
good idea.
himself. He thinks
I gotta
he's
look
this
up
big,
this.
massive, hard man who's got a tattoo on his face. Like, I'm at this point, I'm not going to respect Mark Ruffalo until he like tattoos those CGI dots on his face. Like, that is commitment to the acting cause. Whereas this guy's just got
Okay.
like a triangle there. He's gone halfway.
Dude, this is amazing.
Oh my gosh.
But
Like, what's
that
funny?
TikTok video he made about like, I'm gonna come for you. You know, you'll get what's coming. He was so confident. And nobody is intimidated by Ezra Miller. The only thing I'm surprised by is that the things that you see him do on video, just everyone watches because he's a little weedy bloke. I'm amazed he can even. At one point, he did pick someone up. I'm like, how on earth did you manage that?
Maybe
I'm
he's
surprised
got,
you
like,
can even
super
pick up
strength.
a carrot, let alone anything else.
Yeah, well, he's the Flash. I
Yeah.
mean, he's a superhero.
Well, I mean,
It's actually really high
from
frame
everything
rate
that I've
camera.
seen, the only people that he's ever like, harassed are like women, basically. From
Yeah, that's
like-
true.
yeah,
Yeah.
like he
He's like
choked out the woman. That was kind of the first thing that we saw of his demise was him, throttling.
Choking out a fan.
But it never
Yeah.
went anywhere. Like,
No, it didn't. No, it didn't. People were like, "Oh, okay," and then they just kind of moved on.
Yeah, and then he ignored it.
And then he still played. Then they still cast him as the Flash in their film, which is kind of insane.
like,
but
you know that meme where it's like two people shaking hands? It's like the right, the left, and it's just Ezra Miller needs to be arrested. Nothing happens.
it's so true.
I don't think anybody's going to disagree on that point, though.
No.
In the grand scheme of people, I'm sure there are a bunch of crazy people that do obviously have no problem with this, but I think in the grand scheme of things, most people probably are joining sides to be like, we gotta do something about this guy because
it's really
a
funny
little-
because there's quite a few Ezra Miller like fan pages on Twitter and stuff, and
Yeah.
most of them completely just died. Like none of them post anything anymore about him. Like they're all just
bet.
like dead silent now because of all these crazy things that he's
Why
doing.
would you? I mean, the dude's a psychopath. Like,
Yeah.
People would just post the video.
There's no other way to term it. Like, I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Well, apparently, the CEO, the new CEO of Warner Brothers Discovery, or the chief, whatever, he was talked about in an interview. They asked him, they're like, "What's going on with this whole Ezra Miller thing? Are you guys still doing the Flash movie?" And he's like, "Yeah, duh."
If it's a project we believe in, then yeah, obviously.
of course
Yeah,
we
we're
are.
only going to pump
He-
out quality movies.
He even said they're really
Wait.
excited about it. That's what
Not
my
like-
favorite part is.
Not like Batgirl.
Yeah. Well, that's exactly what we were leading to because they canceled Batgirl.
They can't
Okay.
Shut it down.
So I do just want to give my opinion on this real quick.
Oh,
Oh,
here
here
we
we
go.
freaking
Here
Oh,
we
okay.
go.
Okay,
Alright,
real
could
quick,
have
I
been
want to
good.
remind the chat, if Ben starts going off on a tangent, you are welcome, and we encourage sending super chats because we will immediately stop what he is saying to read the super chats. So the more super chats you send, the less chance Ben has to talk.
That is next level poisoning the world.
All right, hold on.
Poison the
Here.
well.
Let me pin that because that's actually really good. Thing to remind everyone about.
I don't even know why I'm here.
All right, Ben, give your actually
what I
before you get to
won-
that, let me catch up on these couple of super chats that came a little bit before you started talking. Just I don't know how long you're gonna go here, and this is probably gonna turn into a huge rage-filled tangent between all of us. So,
We just all agree that Ezra Miller can't run. Like, why for the
Yeah.
Flash would you hire the one guy who can't run?
apparently he's good at running from the cops.
No,
but,
he like goes, he comes round with like his hand around the back, and he goes all the way around over here.
Oh, it's
I mean,
so
at least Tom
weird.
Cruise does this, whereas
Yeah.
this
Dude,
it's like
Tom Cruise runs
backwards
very well, actually.
swimming.
yeah,
I think Tom Cruise
It's
actually
probably
runs
very
to
efficient.
form.
Yeah.
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 No, there's actually a guy that like did a whole thing about him running, and he's like, yeah,
Yeah.
actually, that's
The
how
dude's
you're
a
supposed
master.
to run. Yeah.
I mean,
Um,
you would think you would have mastered it by now.
Yeah. Sixer Iverson, thank you for the $2 super chat. Epic Mike, you going to play MK8 tomorrow with G&G?
Ezra Miller should be good at running. He just spends all his time running from
Yes.
the police.
Yes,
Yep.
I will be. I
So
don't
you-
really.
Aren't you?
I don't
excited?
really have a choice. No,
You're not
I don't
excited?
really have a choice. I can't really
Do you
go
not
into
like Mario
detail on
Kart?
why I have to be there. Yeah, Mario Kart. Yeah,
Don't
but I
you
have
really?
to. No,
I honestly thought that meant Mortal Kombat 8.
Oh,
of course you did. Because you don't watch the Mario Kart streams. No, I like the new maps aren't super terrible. I mean, they're whatever. I do have to say I was on a live stream yesterday on Thursday when the new maps dropped, and I won a race while on a live stream with no sound or anything, and like just playing it in the background. And yeah, so frick Jeremy for that one. But yeah, I mean it's Mario Kart. It makes me sad.
Yep.
My children and my wife
That's the
hide.
tagline.
And they hide on the other side of the house, and they just like in terror as I scream at the top of my lungs and punch holes in my wall. I have a dent in my wall right here next to me where I punched it because of Mario Kart.
that's amazing.
Never Call of Duty hasn't driven me to that level of rage. No other game, just
Maybe
Mario
you
Kart.
shouldn't
See,
play
and
Mario
Mike, that
Kart,
shows
Mike.
that you care. That shows that you care
No.
about Mario
No,
Kart.
it shows
No,
that,
that
it's a-
shows that maybe you shouldn't play the game anymore.
Or get stronger walls.
Yeah,
well, yeah, the wall's fault for denting.
yeah.
I do have
Yeah,
to
if
say I
it's
was
brick,
impressed
you
that it
break
held
your
up.
hand.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah.
There's a reason why I can't punch my walls.
Yeah.
Valerie Knutson, thank you for the $5 super chat or super sticker. Appreciate that a lot. And then I think we're all caught up. All right, Ben, go ahead. Give your
Legendary.
thoughts
All right.
about frickin'
So
Batgirl.
what I wanted to say is, I think Batwoman, Batgirl.
Batwoman's
gosh,
the TV show.
What's the
Batgirl's
shit?
the
What's
new
the
one.
movie? Batgirl's the movie.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, they're all the same thing. Anyway, Batgirl. I don't care about the movie at all. I will throw that out.
All right, we have
because-
a $2 super chat coming from Mike Williams. Thank you so much. Shut mouth.
I like that you've still got the blurred profile picture.
Well, that's my second,
Anyway.
that's my other account. That's my alt account.
Anyway,
It's like the Flash.
it is budget version of the Flash.
Oh,
Amazing.
go ahead, Ben. Sorry, we're listening.
But anyway,
We
Ben,
have
stop.
another $1.49
Seamus.
chat. Super sticker coming from Seamus. Thank you so much. Appreciate
Salt.
that. And then we also have a $5 super chat coming from Boomer Stick, the man, the myth, the legend. Congrats to Ben for his 1 month streak of not posting any videos to YouTube.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's
I
keep
read that steak.
alive.
Let's go. Hey, we'll keep it alive, baby. We'll keep it alive.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, Boomer Stick. Boomer Stick is awesome.
Yeah.
Well,
Appreciate
he's
it so much.
something. I don't know
Great.
about awesome.
I mean-
but okay.
You did say you were experimenting with different ways to make videos. It's like this is an original one.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't even. I can't even. I can't anymore.
No, you can't.
Batgirl.
You're good.
Batgirl.
Batgirl.
Yes.
Batgirl.
So I don't care about the movie.
We have another $2 super chat coming
Oh,
from
no.
Ruthie. He talking. Please read my super chat.
Ben
Thank you so much,
is
Ruthie.
going
Appreciate
to
it.
become. Ben is going to
He's
turn
gonna
into the Ezra
just
Miller
hold
of
up
this channel.
signs to the camera with a few words at a time.
Anyway, Ben, Batgirl.
Go ahead, man. Sorry about. Yeah, go ahead, man.
He's punching his wall.
There's just gonna be a big.
Come on, I think I need to go to a hospital.
Oh my god.
All right, Ben.
dude.
Anyway,
Yeah, you had a. Sorry, man. Go ahead. buddy.
don't care about the movie.
Yeah.
However, I will say it's kind of sad only because there were a lot of people that spent a lot of time and effort to make. No, I'm not talking about the Warner Brothers. Like,
We got another super chat coming in from Seamus. Thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Talk faster, fella. Thank you so much,
oh
Seamus.
boy, he made an enemy.
Talk like Ben Shapiro. Do it.
Yeah, Ben's your enemy now. Ben's
Okay,
your enemy.
guys. So the Batgirl movie, it's ridiculous. Okay, this whole situation is unbelievable. I just can't believe that we're talking about Batgirl right now because the Warner Brothers executives are destroying Hollywood.
He didn't
I
say
just
Josiah.
realized that at the end. He was
That
like,
was actually
"Oh, like why?" Is she...
The moment he
Like,
said,
what's-
"Oh, destroying Hollywood," like, he mentioned Hollywood. That's every.
All right, go ahead, Ben. Your
These
thoughts.
Hollywood
so you
elites,
feel bad for the cast and crew because they made
I do, yeah. I mean, because it does take a lot of work to
even
to
though they made a
make
shit product that they didn't
It-
feel like putting out.
it takes a lot of work to make a movie, regardless of that fact.
Yeah,
And
but
that's
why didn't
just-
they?
Yeah, but they got
Ben,
paid
stop!
for it.
Wait a minute. We have a new super chat.
We do?
Yeah, we do. From DSBT.
Wow, it hasn't even popped up for me yet.
Yeah, I see that.
STDs?
Oh, there we go.
It's right
Oh,
here.
yeah.
Yeah,
The STD?
Oh, that's
Is
I don't
mine
know
in
why.
Australia in the
It
it
future.
popped up in mine. Yeah.
heck.
Back.
Says Ben, good thought. Please start the sentence again. I can't follow the broken pauses. Yeah, Ben, I need you to stop stopping. I don't know why it didn't pop up. It's in the YouTube.
Yeah.
chat, though.
Yeah, it's
It's
not
lasers
showing
to
up for me. That's kind of funny.
All right. Anyway, yeah. I'm
Ben,
not
you
gonna
need to
talk
start
anymore.
the. Yeah, no, you need to start the thought
Nope.
over again, please.
Nope, I won't gratify.
Is that all you got to say? Is you just feel bad for the cast and crew?
No, it's just. I mean, that's got to feel crappy, regardless. If you spend a lot of time on anything, even if you don't love the product, or even if you do, but I mean, regardless of that fact, I think Warner Brothers is an awful company, so they don't care about any of that in general. But also, like,
I mean, it's not like they still didn't get paid.
no,
Yeah. And they're
They-
the ones that made it. Like,
did,
if you
but what
produce
if-
trash, why should anyone feel sorry for you producing trash?
I don't feel bad for the Warner Brothers executives or the people that created the idea. I more feel bad for the cast and crew, like for all their
But they
work,
made a
because they're
bad
the ones that
movie.
did the work.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What?
They made
I
a bad
mean,
movie.
Okay, people
The
make
guy
bad
behind the
movies
camera
all
is
the
probably not
time.
to blame, but he's also not
Yeah.
going to care because he just filmed
People
the
make
thing.
bad movies all the time, and if they wasted time and resources on making a bad movie, of course I'm going to feel bad that they wasted all those time and resources and their own personal time to make that
But
movie.
the only people that wasted
Especially
resources
because the
were the
movie's
same
not
people
good.
that you said you didn't care about. Like the cameraman is not going to give a damn whether it gets released or not because he just filmed it and got paid.
Well, some people do care if their final product's released. I mean, that's that. When you make a movie, most people want people to see it, even if
Especially
it's
the
even
narcissists.
Depends how far down you go, though. It's like,
Yeah,
yeah,
it
the
depends.
crew might, the writers will, but
Well, they're like, oh yeah,
the
like a
guy
big-
that
a big deal.
filmed it, I doubt he cares.
Maybe.
And at the
You
end of the
don't
day, the people that put the money behind it were still the ones that decided if they wanted to release it or not, you know?
Yes,
So,
right. And they made the decision to not. They're making the decision to not release it, which basically what I'm saying is it feels like they're just shafting the whole crew, and they're the problem in general. But that's always how it's been with Warner Brothers, so there's nothing new there. That's basically what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Is that Warner Brothers sucks,
Well,
regardless whether or not they.
it's also under
released the
new
movie.
ownership. So that
Well, I
you know,
mean,
that
yeah.
that threw a monkey wrench into a lot of stuff too. So
Well, yeah, I'm sure, but that's why HBO Max is dissolving, pretty much.
yeah.
So, yeah,
Yep,
which
exactly.
sucks because HBO Max is the best streaming service out there. So, or it was, I should say.
It's dead to Ben, apparently.
Apparently.
I mean,
yeah.
it's dead to Warner Brothers.
Well, I
So-
mean, Warner Brothers is pretty happy with releasing good movies.
Like the Flash.
Like the Flash.
No.
Okay, well, here's the
Let's not
thing.
judge that bar of quality too
The
much.
Flash. Hey, maybe the Flash is a freaking masterpiece. I don't know, but you know, I mean, only time will tell for that one.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
I feel like I can be pretty confident about it though.
yeah. Yeah.
No matter how
I've
much
seen Ezra Miller in other movies.
no matter how well the thing is, like I have never minded Ezra Miller's The Flash, no matter how much I've disliked Ezra Miller. I didn't think his Flash was terrible. I thought the Flash was fine, especially in Zack Snyder's Justice League. But
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a fan, but you know.
Well,
He runs
I mean,
far worse than that one.
No, the running-
that was
the running
actually
is
quite
pretty-
complimentary.
the
I
running
think
is pretty terrible.
I think Grant Gustin completely blows him out of the water.
Okay,
As-
Grant Gustin is like he just played Barry Allen so well in terms of just the character in general, but I mean, there's no contest there.
until the writing went to shit on that show as well. So
Well, that happened in like season 3, so.
Once those shows hit syndication, they kind of give up on
Yeah.
writing. So.
But
Yeah,
besides that fact, Grant Gustin has played the character well.
yeah, and he was way
Um,
better than Ezra Miller was. in my
Yeah,
opinion.
well, and I never said that. I just said that I didn't mind Ezra Miller as the character. So we'll see. I mean, I don't think the movie's going to be anything spectacular unless Michael Keaton can save it. But
But it'll probably be
You know.
better than Batgirl.
yeah.
Michael Keaton was
That's
supposed to
true.
be in that too, I think, right?
Yeah, he was
Well,
for like
Yeah.
5
People,
seconds.
people that were like, didn't people say that Batgirl is like unwatchable? Isn't that like the?
Well, they said that it was like a bad television episode. is
I've
what
heard
the-
two. I've heard
They
two
said
different perspectives.
unsalvageable.
Unsalvageable.
There were some
that's
people.
it,
There were
yeah.
some people that said unsalvageable, and then I thought there were some people that said that it was okay. But I would argue that it probably isn't good.
If they
So-
axed it, they didn't think it was okay.
Yeah. It's
Cause-
not.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad when you get new bosses and they walk in and they go, "We can't show this to anyone."
Yeah,
They're
I
like,
mean,
well, we weren't going to
It
release
will damage
it in
the
theaters.
brand.
Yeah, like we were going to only release it on streaming services, and they're like, "Yeah, no, can't do that."
yeah.
All
I
right.
mean,
no, nobody's getting.
and that, in a lot of ways, that's kind of something that's I can't think of another example where that happened, where Hollywood got, or from a studio from Hollywood that got to that point of having a film complete, and then they're just like, nah, we're not going to even release this, not even on a streaming service. We're just going to completely just vault to this entire thing.
What amazed me is they released Batwoman, and they didn't think that would harm the brand. But Batgirl was so much
Yeah.
worse than
Yeah.
Batwoman that we can't even
Yeah,
show
think
this to
about
anyone.
how bad that must have been. Like that's,
Mhm.
and especially, I mean, Warner Brothers has released a lot of pretty terrible movies too. So
Yeah, they released the.
and they,
Yeah, they released Joss Whedon's Justice
Yeah.
League.
yeah, exactly,
Yeah,
yeah.
the Justice League.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I just think it's funny. They spent $90 million on that movie, and they're like, "Nope, it's a write-off. Sorry,
Mhm.
everybody.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yep.
Go home.
No,
Nothing
they're gonna-
to see here." Yeah. So
Yeah,
I
well,
don't know.
We'll see.
think
So, what do you guys think? Do you think that Warner Brothers knew ownership and management is going to be better for Warner Brothers going forward, or do you think it's going to be the same or worse?
I don't think it can be worse. Before it was like we're just going to release all this stuff and just allow it to happen. He's at least
like
cancelled some
with
stuff.
the base with like some of the dissolving of HBO Max and stuff like that. Like, do you think that's a bad move or do you think that's a good move?
I think the way you can only salvage a company like this is to literally like get rid of
burn it to the
and
ground and then build it back up.
Yeah, because what you've done is you've hired a load of people that think these are not only good movies, but they may know that nobody wants to see them and they want to release them anyway. And so, as long as those people exist, you'll either have to fight them on literally everything and they'll just sabotage their own product. Because they'll bite you tooth and nail and walk off. Or you can just bite the bullet, get rid of people, and hire people that don't actually want to produce good entertainment.
Yeah, so I mean, so maybe what they're doing might be good then for Warner Brothers as a company in general, because I think, especially over the last like 5-6 years, most of the stuff they've released that's been like, I would say probably adaptation work especially has been exceptionally poor. Minus Zack Snyder stuff, which I really love. But besides that, I mean, it hasn't been great. So maybe it will be good. Maybe this will be a good thing for him. I mean, they got to get rid of a lot of other stuff, and they basically have to wipe the DC universe from existence to really make to restart it or whatever, if that's what they want to do. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if they are already axing some of these, properties,
that might be the direction they're headed.
Been,
well, apparently
terrible,
too.
So.
They've talked about like when the merger happened, there's a bunch of like shows and movies and stuff that got like quietly just removed off of HBO Max without any announcements, and stuff. So there's definitely, a lot of shakeup, and then with the announcement that HBO Max is getting replaced with a new streaming service, it's gonna be combined with Discovery Plus. It's like, so yeah, I mean, they're obviously trying to shake things up a lot and
HBO Discovery,
but yeah.
Discovery.
But I agree. Sometimes,
HBO.
I mean, how many times can we've seen it happen. We've talked about it in like video games. How many times do you like restructure, like an old, like the software for a game or whatever? Like how many times do you reskin like, we're still using the same, kind of engine for this game, but we've, revamped it and re-added things to it instead of going, we got to do something completely different because this isn't working anymore.
Right. Well, there's only so many times you can reuse a product or reuse ideas or whatever. And Warner Brothers, I feel like, is at least recently has been just kind of like, I don't know. It feels like they're recycling stuff almost. And they also keep making the same making the same bad decisions over and over again. And now pretty much everybody hates the studio. So,
the only thing I want is for them to continue with Raised by Wolves. That's all I want. Just
I don't think they're going to do that.
Bring it back, everyone.
They're not going to do that.
No,
they should.
No,
I don't think
one of my favorite parts about this whole thing is how many people got upset and came up the woodwork going after the Snyder cut. They're like, well, why are you going to release the Snyder cut? Why don't you release the Batgirl cut? And you're like, well, because
there's also so many people. Like the thing is though, with Snyder, is Zack Snyder has a very dedicated fan base that actually cares about the movies that he makes. B, I think the entire cast and crew also was behind him for that, and they like made a huge deal about it. There was tons of people. I think that situation's completely different. Also, we know that the Justice League wasn't bad enough to be completely axed because it was released. It was just a terrible version of it. So, I mean, I think that movie should have been the Justice League probably should have been wiped.
To be fair, that was also, the same Warner Brothers that was going to release Batgirl as well.
Well, right. They've released everything. It doesn't matter what it is. So, but I don't think that the Justice League or Zack Snyder argument's a good one from people who are talking about Batgirl because it's Zack Snyder.
Well, I agree.
Ruthie, thank you so much for the $2 super chat with all the laughy faces because I've been getting interrupted incessantly. So thank you so much, Ruthie. Appreciate it. Samurai Vader, thank you for the $2 super chat. As promised, Heavy will now lay egg in your mouth.
It's from a YouTube video. It's from that's actually
Seamus, thank you so much for the $2 super chat. Says you can do it, Ben.
Can you read that last name?
McCallaghan.
McCallaghan.
Thanks, Josiah. Appreciate it. I just wanted to see how you got through it. I appreciate that.
Make a lack
So,
like a hack a hand.
Yeah. Well, so yeah, we have Batgirl got canceled and I think for good reason, but what's speaking of bad shows that shouldn't be released but are definitely going to be released because
Yes,
certain other companies have way too much money,
Wolves, which was the best thing that HBO had going for them at the time. So
yeah, there's another company that decided is going to keep releasing bad content until you finally get the idea that they're not going to stop releasing bad content.
Yeah,
She-Hulk.
Keep beating you over the head with it.
Everyone. She-Hulk director Kat Coiro,
I think,
blames criticism of Marvel series CGI on our culture's belief in its ownership of women's bodies. The reason you don't like the CGI is because you think you have the right to own a woman's body.
So misogyny and patriarchy.
I think a lot of the critique comes from feeling like they're able to tear apart the CGI woman. There's a lot of talk about her body type, and we base it on Olympian athletes and not bodybuilders. I think if we had gone the other way, we would be facing the same critique. She concluded, "It's very hard to win when you make women's bodies."
I don't think her body type looks bad. I just think the CGI is bad.
I wonder.
I've never heard anyone say.
I wonder why they didn't use.
That's what I'm saying. Neither have I.
Type of argument for Sonic when Sonic first came out with its trailer, where everyone completely.
You feel like you own hedgehogs' bodies. How dare you? Yeah.
Look, maybe fans just don't like shit CGI in their stories. Maybe that's the thing, and it has nothing to do with all these ridiculous things that they continue to say, like misogyny and we apparently want to own women's bodies, or we do own women's bodies, and all these weird things.
That's using the CGI to bring up that argument is a little weird. Like that doesn't feel like a really strong argument. Because bad CGI is bad CGI, It's
not meant to be a strong argument, though. It's just they know what will shut people up, and so they're using that topic to try and shut down conversations about the CGI. So now if you mention CGI, they'll accuse you of this. That's what it all comes down to. The thing that I will criticize about a body type, though, is if she's basically anywhere near the strength of the Hulk, simply on muscles alone, she shouldn't be as strong. So if you wanted to be able to compete with the Hulk, she should have muscles as big as him.
Yeah.
But she's so much stronger than he is, Disru. She's so much stronger.
Well, she is in the trailer.
yeah, exactly.
She gently tosses it.
Yeah, she broke off half a cliff or something like that, and all that crazy stuff.
Which is funny because in the comics she is not even close to as strong. And one time I think she knows martial arts and stuff, but one time she actually had to fight the Hulk and he put her down and she was in basically a crater going, "Oh God, I'm gonna die," because the Hulk was like, "Hey, no." But once again, we also know that the Hulk, because I'm sure, to a lot of the people behind the scenes, he represents all the worst things about male toxicity, is now a smart guy that wears glasses and can barely throw a rock. So, yeah.
So he did say that She-Hulk will investigate the difference between how society reacts to male rage and female rage. And that society's fine with Hulk at a 10 rage, which, I don't know, he destroyed cities. I don't think they're fine with it. But so how will it be when she's at a 5? They're clearly going to judge her more. I'm like, no. Yeah. No, that's not true.
Yeah. It's funny because if you go by the comic books idea, Hulk was such a menace that the Illuminati put him in a spaceship and shot him off into space. They were like, "Bro, I don't know what to do with you, but you got to get out of here." So, which consequently enough, they ruined that storyline because they put it into Ragnarok. And so when we saw Hulk in Ragnarok, that was supposed to be World Breaker Hulk. Korg and those characters are all characters in the World Breaker storyline, where Hulk basically gets sent to a planet, and because he can't help himself, destroys his ship and lands on another a war planet, and then basically assembles an army and comes back to Earth and goes, "So you kicked me off of Earth, so now you all have to die." So yeah, but no, that's not as important as making sure that Hulk gets, constantly nerfed and embarrassed in front of everybody.
Oh, man.
I don't remember.
Damn it, Ben.
Sorry.
If you remember, tell me. But yeah, so yeah, the director's saying that it's your fault. that you know. Go ahead.
I don't know. I feel like regardless of what the Hulk does, She-Hulk or otherwise, or any superhero, excessive amounts of like damage and destruction of property and taking out people. I mean, I feel like I'm gonna have the same reaction to that as no matter who it is if they're a superhero. So I mean, her being a woman doesn't really make me care about it any more or less.
Yeah, dude. Yeah,
but I feel like that's a reasonable reaction. I feel like that's like a, like I mean, if superheroes destroy a bunch of property and kill innocent people, then I'm not really gonna give one person more, like criticism just because they're a guy or a girl. I don't care about that. Yeah. So.
I think it's funny though that they ignore the fact that in the comic books they made She-Hulk look like the original Hulk, because they were like, in the comics people were like, why didn't she have bigger muscles? Why did she look like a normal person? So they like redesigned her and made her look like a giant, mostly like Hulk with a wig on, basically. So
yeah. Which I don't know. I don't mind the the original look of She-Hulk. I think it's just ridiculous that they, with this trailer and everything else that they've shown for She-Hulk, they make her already like way stronger than Hulk is, and that's just ridiculous.
And the CGI sucks.
Besides the CGI, I don't mind her look in the show at all. I think like you said with some of the other stuff with the Hulk, I think more. That's exactly the frustrating part. Not her actual look. I think her look's fine.
I've never had any issue. Like, even with CGI, for a TV show, I don't expect top quality CGI, to be honest. As long as it doesn't, like, pull me out of the show and I'm just spending my time thinking that's awful, because that's what I was doing during Thor. I was looking at the backgrounds going, this looks really terrible.
Mercy, the CGI in Thor Love and Thunder was so bad.
Yeah, exactly. All the characters felt like they were popping off the background in every scene. I don't know why the volume, when it's not like a desert, just seems, or maybe it's when it's a CGI background rather than like a desert. It's worse than green screen, and I don't know why.
Did we ever talk about those, like the articles about, and I don't think I'm making this up, about like how all the employees are like sick and tired of working for Marvel, and they're producing terrible work because they're overworked.
Oh yeah.
Marvel
did
basically.
We ever talk about that?
I don't think we ever did. No.
Marvel basically walks in every week and they go, "Hey, we have 6 projects. Get to work."
That's why it's so bad, because these people are exhausted. They don't care anymore, and I mean, like, they probably don't want to be working there, but they're keeping it because it's the only job they have, and that's what supports their family. But like, I mean, at that point, it's like, it's just that's awful though, and I think that's one of the reasons why, especially recently, the CGI has been lacking massively in a lot of these projects. I think that's one of the biggest root causes, to be honest.
Yep, exactly.
And they're trying to push out so much content. You just cannot keep up with that. Like, normal people cannot keep up with that amount of content that you're trying to push out. And so your products are just going to get worse and worse the more you push out. I mean, that's just...
I don't think CGI is the issue. Like, in this, they've literally said, oh, well, the Hulk comes in and he's really arrogant and thinks he's got all the stuff to train it. As you would expect, considering you've been the Hulk for years and years, so you've got all that experience. It's like, no, but when he talks to her, he'll realize that actually she's got things to teach him. And I'm like, you can't make a story around that and expect it to be good. The CGI, it's like, you're looking at the Titanic and go, oh, those deck chairs are ugly. No, the boat is sinking and there's bigger problems. And it's like, oh, well, a body type. I literally see this as them going, everyone's complaining about a CGI and body type, so that nobody actually talks about the show itself and the story itself.
Right. Well, and
the narrative. Yep.
This is like when Halo, they started bringing up how everyone was talking about him removing his helmet, and there were so many more problems with the show. They talk about a minor problem so that everyone ignores the bigger ones.
Along with that argument, though, I think like even with like the CGI artists being sick and tired of working so much and having so many projects, it's once again, when you have so many projects, you're obviously not caring about 95% of the things that you're putting out. So they're not caring about the story. Like, they're not caring about the story the same way that the artists are no longer caring about the CGI because they're overworked and they don't care anymore. So I think it's all working together to make a really big problem instead of, It's a bunch of small problems or even just medium problems being pushed together to make one gigantic problem.
I think they care about the story. I think they think that's a good story. I think Hulk
Maybe.
coming along and learning all from this strong woman that's just got his powers, but actually she'd be far better if she'd been the Hulk all along. I genuinely, that's probably their idea of a perfect... Look at, there was First Kill. And I made one tweet going, I can't believe that this didn't work when it's focusing on this topic. And I got loads of comments going, what do you mean? It was amazing. That was the cool part of the show. I'm like,
Yeah.
no, that's genuinely what they enjoy. They think it's a great idea.
Yep.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah, because I mean, and even just look at what the director of She-Hulk is saying, and it goes to show that the focus isn't on stories; it's on things like this: inclusivity, make sure that the story was told through the female lens. Those are the things that they're focused on. That's what matters to
The
them.
thing is, though, you don't have to focus on those things to make a good story that is technically being told through a female's perspective, or a woman's perspective or whatever.
You do for them.
What?
You do for them.
Right, but I'm saying that, in reality, though, they could make stories that are technically doing these things that they're doing without being the way that they're bringing them across, if that makes sense.
Yes, I'd even argue that stuff in the 90s was done that way, but it's
Well,
not enough for them. They want it spelled out.
Look at I would say I would throw out movies like Alien.
Buffy.
I would say that's a very good example of that. But movies in the 90s get discounted today in terms of what they did or what they've done in the past. I feel like people don't actually consider that to match anything that they're trying to do today.
Well, yeah, because it's not just about She-Hulk being good. It's specifically about her not needing to learn anything from Hulk and her teaching Hulk instead. They can't just have She-Hulk be a good character. It has to humiliate all of the people around her. Anyone we don't like must be dragged down. And without that, they don't like it. There's so many great interviews about this show. And one of them goes, this is actually just about legal paperwork because that's the show that's what we think Marvel fans really want to see. And she's smirking, and she's made a terrible show. She's like, no, this is what we want. This is about the size of her apartment and what it's like to live in that apartment. And this show focuses on what it's like to do laundry on a Tuesday.
But I think
one of my favorite examples that I've always just pointed out because I think that it's just great is Aliens with Ripley. I think that film does such a phenomenal job of having a female protagonist without having that be the focus of pushing that as some sort of inclusivity thing or told through the female lens or whatever else. It's a character that happens to be female and it's her journey. That's all that it's about. It isn't about
a good character is a good character regardless of their gender, whether they're a guy or girl. If they're a well-written character and a good character, I think that at the core, that's the most important thing. And I honestly don't care because I've loved characters who are both, who are the leads in their movies. And I have no problem if people want to make a man or a woman the lead in their movie. It's just with stuff like this.
No one does, but they.
No, I'm sure there are some people that do, but the majority of people don't care about that.
This is a quote from the director of She-Hulk that I think is pretty telling. One thing I always come back to was one of the wish fulfillment elements to get to see her walking down a dark alley and someone gives her a hard time. She's able to kick their butts, the director detailed. It was something that every single woman could relate to, any woman of any age. How exciting would it be to walk home in the dark and not worry? She-Hulk is able to walk home even while wearing headphones and not worry because she has the power to not only feel vulnerable physically. And I think that that's a pretty unique thing that only a group of women could have brought to this, among other much more nuanced things as well. But I'm like, and then she goes farther. She says, one example of nuance. This is nuance. We talked a lot about women feeling the need to be polite. So if a guy comes up to you in a bar, it's obvious what he wants, but you don't want to offend him because you're afraid of being rude. Jennifer Walters has this new part of herself that doesn't have to temper that and doesn't have to put up with things she doesn't want to put up with. Walters doesn't have to put up with that crap. So you don't have to be nice to people because she has a superpower. But I'm like, the idea, even the concept of a woman walking down a dark alley and being attacked and then her beating them up is not a new concept. This isn't something that they just now figured out. We've seen that like for years. And like Discourse said, much better executed for years.
Yeah, because I don't think that's a problem, like necessarily.
No, but once again, if you say it's a problem, then you tell the audience, well, this was always a thing that we wanted to show because we've never seen it before. And then people will go, oh, wow, yeah, we've never seen it before.
They're
it's like,
fabricating
yes,
issues. They're fabricating problems. Right. But I think like, sorry, just
And the idea that men don't walk home at night in the dark down a dark alley and like they're not afraid. Like, no, they're also statistically more likely to be attacked by miles. Like, she's on about the fear of that rather than the actual reality of it, when people probably should be more cautious of it than they actually are. But to say, no, only a woman could possibly have understood this, just shows they have no idea what it's like to be anyone else but themselves. And so that's why what you'll see on the screen is just their own mental representation of what it's like, which is why no one else can actually relate to it, because it's not real in any way, shape, or form. It doesn't relate to anything.
I get scared. If I would be terrified if I was walking down a dark alley by myself at night. No, thank you.
Yeah. Well, because I might be there.
Yeah,
with a shovel.
With a shovel, just waiting. But something this is just an observation I've been making. Obviously this is a pretty common observation now, but I think more and more people are starting to come to that conclusion, is that with a lot of these projects, I won't say all because there's a couple that I like, but with the majority of them, I feel like people are finally starting to realize that the quality that we are getting from specific content, whether it be Marvel or Amazon, Netflix, whatever, has kind of reached this point where a lot of people aren't caring about a lot of it. And more and more people are starting to get like that. It's not just, people who have seen those problems for a while or whatever. It's a lot of people, I think, are finally starting to like be tired of it almost. Like it's almost exhausting, because it's just kind of the same stuff over and over again. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's like,
it does.
Like I think people are like, in the grand scheme of things, a lot of people are starting to feel that same way about a lot of this stuff. And I don't know how much longer Marvel can go on, or even Disney, with some of these products, and not have a bunch of people just be like, all right,
well, the problem is that there's still a lot of people that will continue to go see, different things and, watch or, subscribe to Disney Plus, things like that. Continue to give them money. People that are casual people who don't really care that much about what's actually going on with the culture and stuff and everything else. So,
and they can subsidize the TV
majority.
show. They can subsidize the TV shows with like the parks and stuff. This is why things like Netflix and HBO, they're far more open to it because they're an entertainment company, whereas Disney has more stuff. Amazon's the same way. They can float from different areas.
Disney and Amazon are both monopolies. They're not just like, focused on one thing. They're a big umbrella.
So for them, it doesn't come down to what they profit. I think Mike linked a video where the guy said it comes down to what they value. So if they value the actual influence more than the money, then they can afford to lose money to get what they value most.
It's not. What is expedient isn't always the most profitable or whatever, or what is most valued isn't always what is most profitable. So they're like, we might lose money doing this, but we can survive that with all the other stuff we have going on behind the scenes, so we can push this idea or this concept or this message behind it. They flat out tell you the playbook, so
the director also said this, it was definitely something we talked about inclusivity and making sure that the story was told through the female lens. Comic books have traditionally in the art been through the male gaze. And so there was a lot of talk about what is the female gaze and how do we create this from our point of view.
Which isn't inclusion. That would only be the idea that inclusion would, like, peak inclusion would be if it was 100% women, which seems to be the idea they're coming from. But it's literally like, we can include everybody as long as we exclude as many people as possible.
Also, I wanted to mention this just because, just catching stuff in the comments. Somebody used people like One Punch Man, so like that's a reason why like strong female characters that have no flaws are like you know, basically saying guys like people shows like One Punch Man because he doesn't have any flaws and doesn't have any problems. The whole point of One Punch Man is literally playing on the fact that he has no problems, so he has nothing to do. He's completely bored with his life because everything he solves is with one punch.
That's the comedy of it.
Yeah, the whole idea is that everybody around him is striving to be strong and striving to work through their problems, and he literally doesn't have any. And he, like, his hardest day is trying to get his eggs home from the store.
See, that sounds a little satirical to me.
It is. That's the thing. That's the whole point. They're like, here's a superhero that is literally perfect, has no problems, can do everything, can solve anything in one punch, and he's bored. He literally sits up and dreams at night about punching something twice.
Mm-hmm.
That would be more satisfying to him.
Even Supergirl, in the TV show originally, like, this is someone who's born that way, so all of her powers and everything, she's had them entire life. It's not like she's had to learn them or train or anything. In the first episode of Supergirl, she flies into a mountain because she doesn't know how to fly. Even that is learning how to use what you've got. Whereas in this, she gets it from the Hulk, and then she's immediately teaching him how to be a Hulk. That's entirely different. Like, we haven't seen anything about her training. She's just immediately amazing.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And this kind of addresses what some of the people in the comments have been, or in the chat have been saying as well. Bruce, this is coming from Coro, the director, as well. Bruce and Jennifer's dynamic is honestly one of my favorite parts of the series because he comes into it having gone through this very personal journey. And he has a predisposed idea that her experience is going to be exactly the same as his and that he has a lot to teach her. And very quickly, it becomes clear that her experience is going to be very different, both physically, literally, and mentally because of how they have operated differently in the world as men and women. I love watching Bruce get completely thrown off his game of thinking that he is the teacher and realizing that very quickly she has things to teach him.
She's amazing.
That's coming from the director.
She's better Hulk than he was.
Yeah. And, there's, people can get mad at us and stuff, but, the reason why we're calling out the stuff that we are seeing in the trailers because we've seen the same playbook happening time and time again from Disney, from, Marvel more recently, but also things like Star Wars in the past, all these other things where these femranchises are continuing to completely, disrespect the male characters in a lot of ways to prop up these female characters that are just not well written at all.
It's just, it's like at the end of the day, respect both the characters regardless and just write them well, I feel like that's the answer to the question.
It's become a trope in writing today that you have to tear down one thing to build up another.
But
you have to remind people, Bruce thinks he has it all figured out, but he really doesn't. He obviously doesn't understand anything. Instead of there being nuance to like, hey, I know this has been a struggle for me, so how can I help you? She goes, actually, that's not a struggle for me, but also, there could be mutual exchange, but nothing. It's like, she's like, I don't struggle with the things you struggle with being a Hulk, even though I just got this and I don't know. And it's like, okay, well, why is her experience so fundamentally different than her? It's the same exact power set. Like, so what's the difference, So
I was gonna say I don't know. My main character in my book, who was a woman, is very anxious and has a lot of issues. And there's a male character in the second book that has a lot of conversations with her because they've gone through very similar things and they face very similar loss. And so they relate on those topics, and no one's better than the other. It's more of just they meet at an even level and they're like, hey, we relate on these issues or these topics. Like, where can we learn, and grow as individuals and stuff, and from each other, which that is important because that's what we do as people. But I think when you lessen one person, I think that can a lot of the time take away from any kind of message that you're trying to get across, and it can come across as very flat. And so I think that's a lot of what they're trying to do. But
I'm sure She-Hulk.
Go ahead, Disrow.
I'm sure She-Hulk will grow. She'll grow from being instantly amazing and teaching Hulk into realizing she's actually even more amazing than she first thought. And when she realizes how truly amazing she's always been, that's when she'll defeat the
See, but that's not growth.
That's Hollywood growth.
Yes, but in actual literary terms, your character's not growing. Your character's exactly where they were at the beginning.
And
this is from a female lens.
Fat
Right.
brings
Right,
up a good,
I can't
point
forget
here.
that part. My bad.
It's impossible for them to make a strong female character without destroying a male character. And honestly, that is what the ultimate problem is that Hollywood is engaging in right now, is not even, continuing to make these strong female characters in isolation. It's about destroying male characters. It's about destroying masculinity. Being men. What does being a man mean? Strong men. All these different things. Those are the things that Hollywood is directly targeting right now. And there's reasons for why that's happening. And the whole trope of making strong female characters just happens to be part of that whole dynamic of having to destroy male characters. So that's really what it all boils down to at the end of the day, because there's reasons for that, and a lot of it has to do with communist reasons and communist ideologies and stuff. So Laura, thank you so much for the $20 super chat and no message. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you. Awesome. Thanks. And then we have Ruthie, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Wonder Woman is my favorite superhero character. She's sexy and strong. Women don't want to look like men. We want men to look at us.
Wow. Well, I mean, hey, that's one way to put it.
Thank you so much, Ruthie. Appreciate that.
Absolutely.
I mean, she's not wrong.
Yeah.
So
it's true.
Yeah.
So
in the trailer, it's like, this show's from a female lens, and one of the trailer comments is, "Your ass looks great in that." That's what I love is if I actually said what was in that trailer, people would get annoyed. But in this, it's like it's from the female lens, so we're talking about the size of our ass and what it's like to do laundry on a Tuesday.
Yeah,
really breaking those stereotypes, ladies. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Well,
yeah.
Yeah.
So, Ben, you're probably gonna watch She-Hulk when it comes out, right?
He doesn't want to answer the question.
I don't know anymore.
Just want to commit.
No, I really
Maybe a strong maybe.
I really don't. I really don't. But hey, maybe I can make some content off of it. When does it come out?
Tomorrow.
I think it moved a day. Is it the 18th?
It doesn't come out tomorrow, does it? I don't know when any of this stuff comes out. All I know is that the Rings of Power comes out on like the 5th or something.
18th.
3PO loves She-Hulk.
Oh,
Hey, there you go. Hey, Ben, maybe you can do like a joint review thing with Drunk 3PO.
I would do a joint review with Jay, but he probably would not care to do that with me. So,
No.
And that's the thing. I was actually I made a video about She-Hulk when they first announced that she was going to be coming to Disney Plus. I think it was back in like 2019 or something like that.
yeah, it was a while ago.
And I remember when I made that video and stuff, and I was like, I'm excited to see what they do with the character, because I like the She-Hulk character as the character from the comics and everything else, which is, something that is kind of annoying to see what they're doing with her now. So,
Yeah.
Did you know there's an I Am Groot series coming out in 4 days?
Yes. Yeah.
I've never even heard about that.
Apparently there are people that like it too. So
Yeah. Apparently, yeah. They're
People
like, hey,
everything.
who knows
like,
what?
let's market this tiny small
this
character.
This is the new series where this is the new. Yeah, exactly, Jay. See, I told you. It's the new series where Groot has to learn how to be a better Groot by female Groot that comes into the story, and he learns that maybe being Groot is not all it's cracked up to be, and he realizes that he's actually just terrible, and then he kills himself.
wow,
I'd watch it.
Wow.
What were we gonna say, Disper?
I was going to tell Drunk, you need to check your Twitter DMs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Check your Twitter DMs.
Yeah.
Well,
you got it.
maybe
So
you might have
unless
messaged
I
him on the
actually
wrong
meet
account.
him.
You might have messaged him on the wrong account. You never know. He has like 6 of them now. So
Check both.
And they all
I don't know which
talk
one to
with each
message.
other. It's weird.
yeah, make sure to subscribe to Drunk 3PO's channel's dying, and we need to help him with everything.
He was wearing that T-shirt the other day.
Ruthie, if you could drop a link to Drunk's channel, that'd be fantastic.
He needs.
We
He
would
needs it.
appreciate that.
Heck of Josiah wearing a dope shirt. Don't be jealous.
Yeah.
It's okay. I'll DM him right now.
But yeah, moving on, we should probably talk a little bit about this frickin' Rings of Power nonsense that's coming out too.
Please no.
Now I will be
please no.
watching that.
Well, of course you will. Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
I got this wonderful article here. This is good stuff. This is Bounty in the Comics. I was gonna shout out Bounty in the Comics. Appreciate them. Lord of the Rings director Peter Jackson reveals Amazon asked for his help on Rings of Power, but then ignored him. They said they'd send scripts over, and they never showed up.
Huh. Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah.
Now, there's a lot of speculations on why this is, and I wonder if it has something to do with the fact that they knew that when Peter Jackson saw just how shit their scripts were, he probably would have been like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah.
Because it's funny because he talks about how he has no hard feelings against them not sending him anything, and I'm like, well, he's probably happy because he realizes that he dodged a bullet with.
He's probably like,
So he's
Yeah.
like, I'm glad my name is not going to be attached to that thing at all.
he's like, yeah, I want to keep the respect that people have for me.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. I just like the more and more we hear about this show, you know.
Okay, so
and- Go ahead.
I didn't realize that was supposed to be Sauron when I saw the trailer.
The rumor is that that's not Sauron.
Is it not? Okay.
It's,
all right.
it's
The rumor is
like
that-
a bait and switch thing, sort of.
Yeah, the
Okay.
rumor is that this is like a cult leader, like part of a cult
Okay.
that worships Sauron or wants to see Sauron become something. And there's another character that's actually Sauron in the
Okay.
show.
Well, because I'm very, excuse me. I have like a very specific idea in mind of like how I would imagine Sauron. So I'm very curious to see how that is portrayed in the show if they do eventually show him.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they are going to show him.
So
Yeah.
But like, I think this is interesting. So he was talking on this podcast and he said, he reiterated about 4 or 5 years ago, they asked me if I would be interested in it. So I said, have you got the scripts yet? Because I know how hard the scripts were to write for the films. And I didn't know the people writing the scripts, the director explained. They said, oh no, we haven't got the scripts yet, but as soon as we do, we'll send you the scripts. So I was waiting for the scripts to arrive and they never did.
Oof.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But like, you know, and then once, you know, here he is because Hollywood, you know, I mean, they all function in their club. Like they're all part of the club together. So he says, not the sort of guy who wishes ill will. Filmmaking is hard enough. If somebody makes a good film or TV show, it's something to celebrate. The one thing I'm looking forward to is actually seeing it as a perfectly neutral viewer.
The hilarious thing about that comment from Peter Jackson is that a lot of these Rings of Power stands are taking that as some sort of like win for them. Like some sort of endorsement from Peter Jackson. Peter Jackson isn't endorsing Rings of Power at all.
No, he said he's a neutral viewer.
He's literally saying that he
Yeah.
just wishes them the best because that's just Peter Jackson's a pretty positive person. That's just what
Also,
he does.
yeah, he's also a
And
filmmaker,
He's just you know, he's just gonna look forward to seeing it as a neutral viewer. That's all he says. He doesn't actually endorse anything that they say there. So
Yeah, he basically says he knows as much as us. That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
And he doesn't want to say
exactly.
anything bad because I have a feeling if you say the wrong thing, you don't just get blacklisted from that company, but they have
Yes.
influence with other people as well.
Oh,
so.
yes.
And
Yeah,
it's the same
exactly.
thing. Brandon Sanderson had the same thing. He consulted on the first few scripts, and then they didn't send in the rest. And he says it was because, you know, the 2 years that it was getting made of, they used that as an excuse. I don't know why that would ever stop you sending a script in an email, personally, but apparently, no, he couldn't possibly consult after the first few because of that reason.
which is
So-
very interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, I've never believed that as an excuse myself, and this just makes it seem like they'd actually do it regularly.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean,
So
I don't think it was like just because of like inconvenience or anything like that. It was there's probably very clear reasons for why they didn't send these scripts to some of these people that are more I guess involved with the series or with the franchises or whatever. So
It's kind of weird though, because all he would have done, he'd get the scripts, he'd be like,
Yep.
I think you should change this would be better, and just give like comments,
But they wouldn't
and
like
then
that.
they could choose whether they did them or not. So they don't really lose anything. It's almost like we don't even want other people's opinions. Like,
Yeah.
even if we can just ignore them, like you,
100%.
it's a strange
Well,
attitude.
Well, and the other thing that's weird about it too is then you could argue, oh, well, we showed Peter Jackson the scripts, he's seen it, you know, and
yeah.
he could give his opinion on it, or people might, you know, but I think that they know that what they're doing is going to deviate a lot, and I think that the issue would for them would be if we give him feedback, or if we give him an opportunity to have feedback, he may say, I read it and it wasn't very inspiring, or later down the road they'll say, yeah, we looked at this stuff and we knew. Because what's interesting is, you know, when what's his name, the guy that was the Tolkien expert that left in the beginning,
Tom Shippey.
Tom Shippey, that's what I thought his name. Yeah, when Tom Shippey left, like there was like apparently a huge restructure of the story and everything else that happened right after he left. It's why it's taken so long for the show to get off the ground. They've had actors leave and be like, yeah, this is a mess and I don't want to be part of it. But apparently what the story was when they first started to what the story is now is very, very different.
Oh yeah.
And so I can almost see why they probably were like, yeah, well, you know, we're still working on the scripts. And then they probably got them off and they're like, you know what? Maybe we don't need to send this to anybody because our Tolkien expert left and they're probably going to give us feedback telling us to stick to the storyline and stick to the narrative more. And they don't want to do that. You know?
Yeah, because when they first started to announce Rings of Power, they talked about all these things like, you know, getting Tolkien experts like Tom Shippey involved. They talked about, you know, consulting with Peter Jackson to see what he thought of the things and everything else. And all of that has just gone completely out the window totally with this show. And it's interesting because think about like this article right here. If this was written from the perspective of Peter Jackson having seen the scripts, like that would be a very different type of article here. Even if he didn't, you know, flat out say, oh, it was terrible, he could have still made certain implications that probably wouldn't have gone well with the show for the show, or done things like, you know, say like, oh, well, I saw the scripts and I sent them back because, you know, I didn't want to get involved with that or whatever. So
yeah, and I think
that
this is
looked a lot worse.
Apparently, according to this, though, they said Amazon reportedly ceased communication with Jackson under specific direction from the Tolkien estate. Who is in charge of the Tolkien estate right now?
People that don't have J.R.R. Tolkien's best interests at heart, for sure.
Very interesting.
I think a lot of them are just in it for the money, to be honest. So,
well, like Amazon said here, in pursuing the rights for our show, we were obligated to keep the series distinct and separate from the films. We have the utmost respect for Peter Jackson, the Lord of the Rings films, and are thrilled that he is looking forward to watching the Rings of Power. But my thing is this right here, this statement: in pursuing the rights for our show, we were obligated to keep the series distinct and separate from the films, which, as we all know, Peter Jackson's attitude about the films was it needs to be as close to the source material as possible. So if you were trying to follow the source material and make something that was honoring Tolkien's legacy, why would you need to keep it distinct and separate from the films? It doesn't, you know, that I don't know. That's go ahead.
And it's so insane because essentially, by definition, it would be separate and distinct from the movies. Because it's in a different time with entirely different characters, there's only a very few ones that are even linked in any way, and you can't keep them distinct. But they are going to use that and trot out that line for everything.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think it's just Galadriel, Sauron, and Elrond, right? That are the only three that were appeared.
Yeah, the elves that live forever kind of thing. Yeah. But that's what they're going to use for. Well, the elves, they needed short hair because in the movies it was different, so we had to make them entirely different. Oh, the dwarves can't have beards because in the movies they had they're gonna take quotes and twist them to mean something else, and it's only so that people who want to defend it will have like a shield of sort of mystery they can hide behind, and it's rather than taking the actual meaning behind the words, they're going to take them deliberately literally, and like, no, that's not what that actually means. But
well, and it's funny because I'm like, you know, go look at the response in the beginning when The Hobbit was announced. You know, they're gonna act like everybody's a bad faith actor that wants to be mad about these movies and be mad about these shows and be negative about these shows. And nobody wanted that at all. Everybody wanted to be excited about this stuff. The reason we're not is because everything that Amazon has shown us and talked about and revealed about this show has proven that it does not look like it's going to be a quality product. Maybe the show's the best show ever written and it'll be phenomenal, but it probably won't be because everything we've seen from it so far has proven to us it's going to be like
everything. I don't think it looks like a good Lord of the Rings show.
I don't think it looks good at all.
It looks fine.
I'm just like
as a non Lord of the Rings product, I would probably be about a 5 for it. As a Lord of the Rings product, I'm at like a 1, which is not
a 5 more savage comment than you think it is.
No,
a 5 is not good.
I genuinely
like, as a non-Lord of the Rings product, it's still only a 5.
Yeah, it's very middle of the road.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not
that was
saying
actually
that
really savage.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's true. Apparently, I'm just saying.
No, but you said it as if it was like a nice compliment. I didn't know. No.
I tend to phrase things, even if they're not a compliment, I tend to phrase them nicer than they actually are. So that's probably why.
Yeah.
But
interesting. According to this is another article I found. There are people that claim that sources close to the project say that the showrunners, J.D. Payne and Patrick McKay, and former executive Sharon Tal Yugato, who left the company in 2019, were both interested in luring Jackson into some level of collaboration. Opposed to the idea, apparently, were Amazon's lawyers, but also the Tolkien estate, whose chief representative, J.R.R. Tolkien's son and literary executive Christopher Tolkien, has been vocal in the past about his distaste for Jackson's films. So they said the commercialization has reduced the aesthetic and philosophical impact of the creation to nothing. That was, I think Christopher Tolkien said that in 2012.
Wow.
But you gave it to Amazon, who has then commercialized it well beyond anything. That,
Christopher Tolkien.
I really hope you're interested in your Lord of the Rings Kit Kats and ice cream. If you hated commercialization, welcome to the Kit Kat, Sam.
To be fair, Christopher Tolkien was very loyal, protecting his father's works. He totally was. And after he passed away, unfortunately, the next generation of the Tolkien family completely just did not have the same care as Christopher Tolkien did. So, huge tragedy when he passed away, unfortunately. So,
yeah, absolutely.
But I kind of think that's natural. Like, if it's your father that made this, you're obviously going to be more attached to it and keeping it how it is than, like, the future generations will get even worse.
Oh, yeah.
And I can even understand the attitude, like, from Christopher Tolkien's, if he didn't like the movie, saying, I don't want them to be related to Jackson's works because I just don't want more of Jackson's take on the Lord of the Rings. But you can guarantee this was not what he planned. Like, this was not what he wanted for this, like, at all. Like, none of this. And then them going, because it's like the way Amazon is going around, like, trying to manipulate everybody around. Like, they went back and, like, all the digital books now have the new Lord of the Rings of Power covers. And then people are like, no, I want the old art back for my digital books. They're like, well, you don't really own those anyways, so I don't know why you're so upset. Like,
I kind of disagree as well. I think when Tolkien was writing The Two Towers, the forefront of his mind was, I really hope that one day this becomes an ice cream. And that was definitely that was his dream.
Oh, yeah.
I will have made it if I could get a Ben and Jerry's flavor out of it. I mean, he hasn't achieved that yet, but he probably will.
Oh man,
get that slapped on a lunchbox somewhere.
Yeah.
It's, I don't know. And have you guys seen the clip of Galadriel and with Sauron's marking or whatever that?
Yes. The OneRing.net came out with the strangest attempt to explain that as well. Because I'm like, she talked about how it's a fiery hand, and how does that freeze it? And they said, well, maybe the area around it is just incredibly ice cold, and so it freezes everywhere else except the sign. And the thing is, if it was on the OneRing.net site, about the clip.
I can pull up the clip here and we can check it out here. Go ahead, Disroot, while I look for this.
But even in that case, like, they're all breathing. There's no, like, mist in the air. There's no ice on the walls. There's no heat coming out of their mouth as they're breathing. There's no sign that that room is cold at all. Like, you should visualize that so that we know that the world is sort of ice cold or wherever they are.
Yeah, I did not pick that up at all from what they were showing.
That was just them. And I was like, well, that would make sense if it was super cold, but we should see it.
Yeah, exactly.
There's moisture in the air. There will be ice in the stuff.
Yeah, I mean, the OneRing.net is doing everything they can to bend over backwards to defend the show. It's insane. It's absolutely insane.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And it's hilarious because even in their own, like, comment sections on, like, Facebook and everything else, like, people are shitting all over the show, and they're just going to continue to do everything they can to shill for it.
Have you seen the new trend? The new comments are amazing because they kept deleting all the old ones. The new ones, like, I really enjoyed the bit where Tom Cruise came in and stole a nuclear missile off Galadriel, and then she came in and drove over all the orcs in the tank. And it just goes mental.
Yeah, it's so funny. Oh my gosh. Let's see. All right, here's the clip here of Galadriel that they showed.
Folks,
can you guys hear it?
Ladies and gentlemen. Next guest tonight is an actress you know from Saint Maud and the personal history of David Copperfield. She now stars as Galadriel.
With the power.
So they have this. There's the clip right here.
These orcs were meddling with the powers of the unseen world. Some dark sorcery of old. But what was their?
I'm so glad she told us.
Surely lost to the ages
I
now.
wouldn't have known otherwise.
Whatever happened here was long ago.
So is that that's supposed to be like a snowflake, right?
Yeah, that's what
Basically.
it looks like. Yeah,
That or dust, I can't really tell.
it looks
Yeah.
like a snowflake to me.
I mean, it's
The-
so cold, there's one snowflake, like,
Yeah.
just floating around. And she decides to focus on that one singular snowflake in this in this place, which is so ice cold that it will instantly flash freeze any water. Now, the water in his bottle isn't frozen. It's only when it hits the surface does it freeze. It's magic physics.
Oh man, this
Or is
guy
that the only clip?
just like the hell. No,
Oh no,
I
it
can
carries
read
on.
it. Yeah.
And that's supposed to be hot, I assume.
Yeah, she says she describes everything.
By the way, that's supposed to be an elf. Just throwing that out there.
Oh.
I don't
Just
mind
does.
his look. That's fine.
Really?
Just looks like he's
No.
called Dave.
Yeah.
It's Dave down the local.
Hi, Dave.
He'll offer you a beer.
What's up, Dave?
Our day's work being a
Oh
builder.
my gosh.
Even stone cannot hide the mark of one whose very hand is flame unquenched.
It's so cold it freezes water that fast.
He was here. Sauron was here. Tell the others to rest while they can.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
His,
There's the clip.
his hand of fire freezes things, or it's the environment with one snowflake in it. And she had to literally say every single thing, because when you walk in that room, did you know those orcs were like messing with dark magic if she hadn't said anything? It's like,
Nope.
Did you make an assumption about orcs being evil? Orcs are a people. They're a
well,
people group.
Yeah, that's true. They
There's
have their
female
own
orcs now,
culture.
so
Yeah.
not
yeah.
all of them will be evil. Some of them will be amazing.
Yeah, my bad.
They'll probably save everyone.
They'll
I
be
gotta,
amazing, but they just
orcs-
won't know it yet.
Orcs
Yeah,
is the
they'll
society.
just misunderstood.
Yeah,
Then they'll
If
realize
only
how
those-
amazing they are.
If
they'll be
only
even
those
more
other
amazing.
pesky orcs will get out of the way. Then,
Well, yeah. According to the
Yeah.
wokesters, the orcs are basically black people. So,
Yeah.
there's that too. So
Yeah. Yeah. dude, the marketing for this has just not been good, and I just
Which is actually hilarious because they actually made like all of the orcs in the Rings of Power like have like white skin, like pale skin, which isn't even the description of what they were like in Lord of the Rings and stuff. But that's they got to do everything they can to continue to wokeify everything. Even the orcs need to be woke, apparently.
Yeah.
So
yeah, they're all, they have a society. They're a people group. You
that's
know?
true.
We live in a society, though.
Yeah.
We live in an orc society.
Yeah.
Apparently.
By the way, I
Um,
got to show this. I can't play the music obviously because I don't know. You might get copyright strike for that. But this is without the music. I wanted to show this. This is like one of the Entertainment Weekly's. This is one of the ads that they released for.
I saw this one.
Yeah, this is what it looks like, and the music playing behind it that somebody put over it is the music from the Days of Our Lives.
Oh no, is this a real thing?
Yes,
Yes.
this is an actual thing. Yeah.
the memes were glorious.
Have you not seen this, Josiah?
No.
Oh, you've
No,
got
no,
to show
this
Jay
is-
Longbones.
Yeah. Dude, it's
Oh
crazy.
my gosh, are you serious,
No,
dude?
no, I'm not kidding. I gotta find Quarter Black Garrett in that same post.
And
Yeah.
they got like the dwarf winking. Like what?
Yeah. My favorite part is they have short hair. The elves have short hair.
Oh, they
but
look
it comes up
terrible.
over all their ears constantly, so you can't even tell that they're
Yeah.
elves.
I
Yeah, here's the other one.
They look so
Yeah.
bad.
This is This
Oh
is
my
from
gosh, dude.
Az.
I'll put one in the private chat as well from Jay Longbone.
Look at this. Power
Dude.
players.
Oh my gosh.
Power players. Yeah. Isn't that amazing? Doesn't he
The
look,
marketing, the marketing for
dude.
the show is worse than the show is going to be.
Dude, this
Yeah.
is well.
this is a real
I don't
thing,
know.
man. That's a real thing. All right, let me grab the one that does.
I got it right here.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Dude.
Dude, this is no. Do they actually have her? Like what? What is she doing?
I think she's supposed to be singing. Apparently, they said something about she has a beard as well in this, or like there's like some semblance of a beard that she has now. I don't know.
I don't see it, but okay.
Yeah, I don't either. But
dude, this is one of the worst things I think I've ever seen in my life. They actually released this. I can't believe that. I think this is the guy that people are saying is supposed to be Sauron. I think.
That's Jared Leto's masculinity.
wow.
Nice.
Dude, that's Celebrimbor, and they have him doing a weird little finger flick thing at the end, and then oh my gosh, dude, I
think it looks beautiful. I think it looks like the most
God.
brave, powerful thing I've ever seen. I can't wait for September 5th or whatever
what the
day it is.
fuck are they doing with Celebrimbor? Like at the end, they have Celebrimbor doing a little like what the fuck?
Quote Black Garrett's one was oil of Olay.
Dude, I don't understand how anybody looked at that and went, this is going to get people excited for this show.
Oh, it's got me excited for the
want-
show. Man, I'm beyond stoked.
Okay,
Awful.
did the OneRing.net actually defend that clip at all? Like, I would love
haven't
to
checked.
see. I would love to
specifically.
see what kind of mental gymnastics they had to go through to defend that, because that is that is one of the shittiest things I've ever.
They
seen.
probably just said something about you being racist. That's, I mean,
Probably.
they're just like, you know what? You guys are racist or something, and you're like, wait, what?
I just want an explanation from them about what on earth is Deezer doing in the clip. That's the
Yeah.
straight. Oh,
I know,
it's
like,
like,
what
is
the
she casting magic or what? I don't know.
Why?
Yeah.
What do they have all these characters doing? There's
I
another
don't
one
know.
that just like weirded me out too. Which one was it? It was oh yeah, they have the frickin' I think this is supposed to be Durin, right? Winking. I don't know if that's supposed to be.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit about the show at all. I don't know if that's supposed to be Durin or not, but yeah, whoever the dwarf king is, yeah, they have him doing a weird little cheeky wink.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
well, the rest of them, they just have them look like smug and arrogant. Because, like,
Yeah.
power play, they're all supposed to be doing, like, power poses, but
Mhm.
you just look like an art. Like, they're just
yeah,
raising my shit and like,
Bro.
I'm better than you, peasant. It's just, what, Deezer comes out and puts her hands on her hips.
Yeah.
Oh, look at
Yeah.
me. I'm special. Oh,
bruh.
Dude, I just can't believe
I don't know
this.
who any of these people are you're talking about.
This
so
is
Ben,
I
you
don't
gotta get
know
with
the characters'
times.
names.
yeah, that's sad, Ben.
I know Galadriel, I know Elrond, and I know Celebrimbor, and that's about it.
Well, you're missing out, man.
It's like watching a car accident.
That guy's new. He's not in any source.
No, he's not supposed to be in anything from Tolkien.
yeah, he doesn't exist.
He doesn't
Yeah.
Invented.
exist, and that's supposed to be fucking Durin. They have him doing a little wink. Like what? What is that?
Okay, all right. To be fair, his look's not terrible. I think it's the wink that throws you off.
Sure.
Durin's supposed to be related to Gimli, right? Yeah.
She just looks like a Nox as well. I can't, Nox, ever since someone said that the Half-Feet looked like Nox from Stargate SG-1, I can't shake it.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you know how like Celebrimbor is like one of the most important characters in the history of Middle Earth? Durin is one of the most important dwarves that ever lived. Like he is like, and then they have him doing this. I oh my gosh, dude. By the way, this character isn't supposed to exist either.
Well, she's a Harfoot. Come on now.
There's queer.
I think they were mentioned
Elrond.
about 5 times, so the
And what
entire
the
text.
fuck is she doing? Oh my god.
I have no idea.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Dude, this is bad.
Jared Leto's masculinity.
Dude.
Dude, this is bad.
What is that?
The thing is,
They-
it does look like the intro to some. It does look like
Yeah.
he's revealing something special, like they were going to use it in something else.
Uh-huh.
But if they were,
Yeah.
I think they've probably cancelled that idea at this point.
Yeah, dude.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. This is supposed to be
That's-
Well, just remember the show
The next
doesn't.
generation of Lord of the Rings, everyone.
Shows
Here it
don't
is.
get good until their third season, guys. We're putting
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
way
that's
too
Yeah,
much
come
on
on,
this.
come on, Josiah. We got to give it a chance till its third season. All right,
Yeah.
come on. I just need you to bear with it a little longer. Third season, we're coming. It's gonna be great.
My blood
It's like
pressure
most
is
seasons,
like
yeah.
insanely high right now. I need to
You
take
need
a
to
breath.
calm
'Cause
down.
holy shit. Okay, there's also this that was released too, which I thought was hilarious, by the way. So let's I don't know if you guys have seen this yet, but this is pretty funny. Somebody took all of the Tolkien parts of the trailer, and those were the only parts from the show that were shown. And you'll see just how sparse that really is here. So this is like the actual trailer is playing right here, but he censors all the parts that aren't Tolkien.
Hey.
What?
Our days of peace.
Oh my god, dude.
So I did go and check. It looks like wandering.net didn't even comment on those things. They essentially retweeted other people that just went, "This is Joran."
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Dude.
It was so bad not even wondering.net could comment on it.
Yeah, literally just retweets. It's the picture of the video with just Celebrimbor, and that's it. It's the only comment. Wow.
I mean, those scenes that
Beyond the darkness, tempting shadow.
Which I mean, even with this, there's a lot in here that I'm like, that wasn't really anything that Tolkien brought up either.
At this point,
you
he's probably being generous. He's like, well,
Yeah, yeah.
technically it was mentioned.
hey, it was mentioned. It's enough, baby.
Oh, a castle! Nice. Yep. So yeah, it just continues on basically like that throughout the whole thing, and
I thought that this orc looked great.
Even had to include discover the legend. So well, it is a legend. I suppose we can keep that in. There were rings that were forged.
Yes, that was a thing that happened. Yes.
Yeah.
When half your trailer's just text, it's like, well, I suppose the words were in the book.
This was accurate.
They
Swords,
had
yes.
swords.
Swords were a thing in Middle Earth.
They had swords, probably lifted them above their heads at some point.
Must decide.
Someone must decide something, of course.
There was a forest.
Dwarves. Dwarves are a
Many
thing.
dwarves.
Dude, this is
Yes.
so bad.
I just like the like ratio as well. It's better than the trailer.
Yeah.
So true.
That's pretty. I mean, that's so bad. Like that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, nah, we're not getting ratioed. We're fine. Yeah.
Look, you can't see it, right?
Oh,
No one
fire.
knows.
Fire. There you go. Got a little bit of fire in there. Nice, nice.
Wow.
They'd reached the Stone Age by this point.
Oh, it's September 2nd. My bad.
Well, what's funny is
uh,
it's September 2nd. We still don't even have
there
any
you go.
runtime. The OneRing.net even tweeted this out because they haven't blocked me yet.
That Balrog looks great. I won't lie.
It looks like the Balrog from the movies.
And the
Yeah,
Balrog
people are
looks
compared
great.
The one.
I think it's probably from the same people as well. I'm sure people said they probably just had the same like model just
Yeah.
lying around. They
It
just
looks
put it.
it looks good.
It does.
Yeah.
Because the one from the movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Exactly.
Honestly,
But remember,
I'll
we're
take
not trying to share.
I'll
stuff
take
with,
some Balrog action. I'm
Yeah,
not.
but they're
I'm
not trying
gonna
to
lie.
share it with the
I'll take it.
movies. You know, they got to make it their own thing. Remember?
Yep.
Unless
This Balrog is going to be going on a personal journey of empowerment.
this is
He's gonna
OneRing.net
realize-
tweeted this out, and they didn't even realize how bad they're making things look. Like for, yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Oh,
They retweeted this.
dude.
The OneRing.net retweeted this. Like
Ugh.
what? Yeah, I was like, wow.
Dude, what a disaster. What
Yeah.
a disaster. Yeah, we'll probably definitely be talking about the show on this
Probably, definitely.
show
Yeah.
when
Probably,
it starts to
definitely.
come out, because unfortunately, as much as I hate it, I probably will at least try to watch it. We'll see how long I can get before it just angers me so much that I.
Every week we come back and Josiah's gotten more belligerently angry. He starts drinking during the live
Watch it.
streams.
I'm gonna watch it, and I'm gonna be like, man, this show is the best show ever released, and Josiah's gonna be screaming, and then we'll just make a great argument.
Just black bags under his eyes, streams of profanity, like a whiskey bottle and a brown paper bag, just swinging from it.
He's got yeah. Don't you have which sword do you have, by the way, Josiah?
Narsil and Sting.
No,
lock it away before you see the.
That's what I'm saying. He's like got it out during the stream. He's like swinging it and hitting it.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, no, it's
no sharp objects when you're watching it.
Jeez,
Or walls, apparently. Walls.
Yeah.
Yeah,
walls. Yeah. Dude, it's so nuts, man.
Yeah, I'm eager to see what the reception from the audience will actually be when it comes out too. Like on things like Rotten Tomatoes and things like that.
Yeah.
Unless Amazon has some sort of power over there too, and they're able to delete a lot.
I mean, if Disney does, Amazon probably does.
Probably,
the other thing that's
probably, we saw that happen with Captain Marvel already. So
Well, I can almost guarantee you that like loads of articles have already been written about review bombing and stuff. They will be prepared. They've probably gone back 2 years, copied the Captain Marvel one. Control F replaced.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know what would be really funny? Like if like it comes and goes and like just nothing happened. Like nobody said anything. Like that would be like the fun. Like I mean, obviously that's not going to happen because like this is a great time to farm like bad content because it's like it literally is like they're like, oh man, like I'm watching like across the landscape like disparate on these people. They're like, I can't wait. I'm so excited because it's like the crops are coming in finally. Like you're about to farm all of, but like I don't know. It's just like I don't know, man.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's weird because when they first announced Rings of Power, there was such a huge, massive hype on the internet for it and stuff. But right now, I don't feel like I hear that much about it, really. Obviously, there's a lot of people that talk about it when they release the trailers and everything else and how terrible it is. But beyond that, there isn't the amount of hype that there was when it was first announced. I don't feel like so.
Oh heck no.
Yeah, which is weird because this should be something that if it was actually good, you'd think that people would be talking about it more than they are. So.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you go back to like, I remember when The Matrix 2 was coming out, and that thing was everywhere. Everyone was talking about it. They were releasing. One thing that's got me is the amount of marketing that hasn't been released for it. Like they had like the Animatrix and everything they all did because they knew this was going to be a major thing. And what have we got with this? There was nothing for months, and then what we get is just pictures of them. Like, and now there's a moving picture of them where they just reveal the next person. It's so strange. I would have expected like actual clips of it to come out more than we got with that water thing. That's the if you could pick one scene out of your entire series for the show and you choose that one.
I mean, what that one guy that the Living Anachronism on YouTube post talked about is that he thinks that they're intentionally being as vague as possible with any of the imagery because they don't want there to be legitimate complaints about the show. So what they can do is deflect and say, well, you haven't really seen the show, so you don't really know whether or not it's good or not. Well, we haven't really shown anything in the marketing to really define whether or not it's actually bad. It's just the art, oh, well, you're just interpreting things from what they said in the interview. That's not what they're actually saying, because if you watch like the interview, they're constantly hedging their bets. They're like, oh yeah, this is all about feminism and we're reinterpreting Tolkien's works. And they're like, guys, this is designed to be as accurate to Tolkien's works as we could possibly get. It's like they're saying both so they can like constantly deflect. And he thinks that that's what they're trying to do is they're trying to be as vague as possible and show as very little as possible. So when the show comes out, they can go like, well, those people were arguing and complaining before. How are you supposed to make anybody happy today? And it's like, well, I mean, those movies made everybody happy, but okay.
Yeah.
But you've got to be different to those.
Yeah.
And we chose the main way we're going to be different is we're going to make it trash. Like, we're going to be 50% different.
All right, Ben, do you have something that you need to say to everyone?
Yeah. Hi. Hey, everybody. I have to go. I have some things I got to get to, but I love you all. I'll see you later.
Wow. Thanks, Ben.
Yeah.
Done.
All right, just get out of here then, I guess.
I had to
Nope,
wink
fine,
like
man.
Durin.
Yeah.
Huh?
All right.
Did you kick him?
Get out of here, Ben. Go.
Yeah.
Don't make me actually kick you.
Why'd
I love you.
My thing is, why'd you wait so long after he kicked you?
Yeah,
like,
he just like stood there like.
am I coming back? Like, yeah.
EpicVerse news, reviews, and theories. Thank you for the $2 super chat. If you want to start a YouTube channel, September, that would be a good time to do it for sure. For sure. There's
absolutely.
plenty of content
Now,
about it, so.
and
Yeah, yeah,
the
exactly.
YouTube used to what you're making content of first.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. You know, you could experiment and try different ways of making videos like Ben and just not make any videos.
Yep.
So.
It's a great experimentation. It's never been done before. It's actually unique.
Let's see if I can
It's about
grow.
80% different than how every other people make videos.
Yeah.
He loads up like the editing software and just stares at it and then closes it.
Yeah. Oh man.
But yeah. Yeah, it's going to be insane. I'm not looking forward to Rings of Power, but
No.
it is what it is. So
Yeah.
Um
Be a great time to be
Yeah.
alive.
yeah, sure. We can call
I
it
think
that.
the memes are
Yeah.
going to be glorious. I
Yeah.
think this might be
Yes.
like the most hilarious 2 months of television.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the best thing that you could do is just completely mock it. You know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
This is my
Yeah.
favorite. Real quick too. This is just like the last little thing. Did we even talk about that? The showrunner talking about making Isildur his story a tragedy?
I did hear about it. I don't think I actually read the article.
Okay,
but yeah.
I just wanted
Yeah.
to read just this real quick thing because
Yeah.
this is my favorite part about it. He says this is a showrunner, Patrick McKay. He said this layered approach to Isildur's strengths and weaknesses as he rises from a petulant prince to a leader of the coalition of elves and men suggests a far more nuanced take on Isildur than simply being the king that failed to destroy the One Ring. You know, like one of the biggest inciting incidents in Tolkien's works, it's like, well, there's more nuance to it than that. Okay, it's kind of a sad thing. It's like, yes, it is. Always has been.
Imagine thinking that you can bring more nuance to a character than Tolkien can. Like
Yeah.
that is
Well,
quite some nerve right there.
He said he goes on to state his approach is designed to explore Isildur's story more than the source material, so the audience would feel that it all ends in tragedy rather than foolishness, because that's different. Being a fool isn't tragic; it's just foolishness, guys. Come on.
I've always hated when people call stuff nuanced anyway, because
Yeah.
it always seems like a get out of jet. It's the Emperor's New Clothes of this is awful, and like, no, it's
Yeah.
nuanced. You just don't
Yeah.
really appreciate all of its layers. It's so
Yeah.
more complicated than you could possibly understand. It's their
Yeah.
way of looking down on you and just disregarding your opinion without providing any evidence.
Yeah,
Then
like,
again,
how'd-
She-Hulk. This is a nuanced perspective for the female lens. It's their
Yeah.
go-to word.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
so stupid.
So I
Oh
just
my
think
gosh.
that was one of my favorite parts about it. They're like, well, we're gonna make him a tragic character. I'm like, he already was. They're like, well, no, he was foolish. Wasn't tragic. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
you always call it at the end of the world.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh man.
yeah, that's one of the things that's always stood out to me about the people that are making this show is that they have the nerve to think that they can actually bring more depth to Tolkien than what Tolkien brought, and that's just insane to me. So
That's kind of what got me,
Um,
because I've been going through the Silmarillion, and there's so many bits in that where it's like, here's an idea and a topic and a storyline, and then he's just off to the next one. Like,
Yeah.
where did that go? It was like,
Yeah.
you could write so many books just from like a couple of sentences that were set up immediately. That's a really good idea, and he's like, no, that's over there anymore. So
Yeah.
you can see why when he's like deliberately leaving stuff for other people's imaginations and things, that it was like, this is so far away, you shouldn't know what that was. Like, that's it, lost to the depths of time. You know something interesting happened, but you'll never really know what it was. It was done deliberately.
Yep. Yep.
And they're like, no, we need to go out and pad this out. It's like, no, the entire point was that you didn't really know what was happening during this. This was the history.
Yes. Yes. Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was actually written from the perspective of the people of the time and stuff. That's what Tolkien kind of his whole mentality behind writing Silmarillion was. So
Yes.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
even got things like, this is all we know about these people, and it was told to us by these people. So it even hints that could actually be wrong, because it
Yep.
was just passed down through multiple people.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. Exactly. Yeah.
which is nuance.
Yeah.
But, you know,
Well,
he
yeah,
didn't have
but
to
it's
tell you
also
that.
something they will use to twist. If you come back and say, "Well, this didn't happen," oh, well, you know, that was a untrustable narrator, so maybe it did. Maybe it actually we're the ones who are correct.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Mhm.
So before we end, I have a really important question. Probably the most important question that I've asked Disbrew on this show. Do you have
Pineapple on pizza? No.
Do you have Little Debbie's and
Little Deb, you can't call them Little
UK.
Debbies when it's also called Nutty Buddy.
Well,
But
that's the name of
that's
the brand.
That's the bigger
brand
title.
the brand is Little Debbie, but yeah, that's the.
I mean, we do have one that, like, I think it's just got nut butter written across the top. So
no.
yeah, we've got that.
Oh no! But you don't have Nutty Buddies there in the UK?
No, I've never even seen anything like that.
Wow.
Really? Well,
The
it's
packaging
literally
looks
a
like
brand.
it's from, like, the 70s.
It's literally well, they made them in the 70s. They're literally just a brand, Little Debbie's, and then Hostess. They're just brands of just junk food, super sweet, sugary junk food that is like heavily processed. Well, you know what a Twinkie is.
It's like the most American thing ever, to be honest.
They just were like, you know what? We can figure out ways to make this even more toxic and not good for
Yeah,
people.
it's like the most disgusting, but also the most glorious thing that's ever
You can't
been
say it's
created.
disgusting when you literally got a box of them.
Well, we know they're
because it's absolutely
Yeah.
horrible.
Yeah, we
well,
know they're
I know
terrible
these are
things.
absolutely horrible and unhealthy and everything else, but I still eat them and I like them. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Sugar
I was just
addiction.
curious if you guys had Little Debbie's over there, but if you don't,
I
do
got-
you have
I found
Hostess
it.
over there?
That looks terrible.
Do you have Hostess?
That is what I saw just at a supermarket. I'm like, you can't. You can't have that as an advert.
Let me pull that up real quick so that people can see that. That's actually pretty great. Oh man, yeah. Apparently, I think we're constantly
honest-
showing why we're the fattest country in the world.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
To be
I
honest,
think
nut butter is a great name, though. I love that.
I think I'd walk past and look a picture of it. Like, I can't believe they're even dead.
Can you show this? Just oh, please.
Which is that makes me think of like some of the social media accounts for some of like the brands on Twitter are pretty great. Like shoot, what was the one? It's not nutty. What's the little like peanut butter like snacks that you can get? They're called like not Nutter Butters. What are they called? What is this, Mike?
Nutter butter. This is the
Nut
nut
butter.
butter.
Oh,
The
okay.
Nature
Oh,
Valley
Nature
nut
Valley.
butter.
Yeah, we have
Yeah,
Nature
but I
Valley.
love that it's called nut butter. Like, who thought like not to do that? They're like, nah, just call it nut butter. It's fine. Nobody will look at that weird.
No one's even supposed to blink an eye. This is just me. Like, I can't believe this is here.
Oh, geez,
Yeah.
dude.
It's like, I
Yes,
don't know
no,
whether I'm 5 or like no one else has a sense of humor.
But this is what
Nutter butter.
what
Yes.
a Little Debbie looks like broken up. It's
Well,
wafer,
one of
Like
them.
wafers. Oh,
yeah,
yes,
it's like
we've
wafers
got
with,
similar.
but it's
things
got like
made of
peanut
wafer.
butter in between each of the.
Oh,
layers
we
of
don't do.
wafers.
We don't have that much peanut butter stuff actually.
Really.
Oh, everything here is peanut butter. It's
Yeah,
why
like you
everybody-
have peanut butter and jam sandwiches and stuff. We don't do anything like that.
Really?
Mm.
Wow. PB&J sandwiches are like such a big deal.
Like
here.
we only recently got Reese's stuff, maybe a couple of years back, a year ago.
Really? Oh
Uh,
wow.
Here, let me I'll pull this up just so Disprove can be like, oh my god, I can't come to your country. This is awful.
The weird thing is, though, a lot of the food manufacturers, there's such massive corporations that own all the brands. We probably
Oh, yeah.
share a lot of brands that might be called different things. Like, I
Right.
think our Walker's Crisps are your Lay's. The logo
Oh.
looks the same, so I
Uh-huh.
assume they're the same.
Yeah. Well, these are like, yes, zebra cakes,
Yep.
cosmic brownies, Swiss rolls, honey buns. These are like the most normal ones. But then you get into like really bad. Sometimes we get a little out there. The unicorn
Oh my gosh, I love those.
sparkling
on.
strawberries.
Those ones are so good. So basically, in between like these cakes, there's like this layer of like sparkly, translucent glitter cream.
It tastes
that-
like you're eating. It feels like you're eating glass. Yeah.
Oh, you really know how to sell something.
Well, sugary
Yeah.
glass.
It's super crunchy, like just granulated sugar.
Well, from what I've told you put way more sugar in everything compared to us.
Yes.
And we have a
Yes.
lot of sugary
Yeah.
stuff, but yours is
yeah, it's
next
kind of
level.
insane.
Yeah. Every year we get the Easter cakes. You know.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
Those are lit too.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. This is literally like an actual aisle in a store. This is what it looks like. I mean, this is just the Little Debbie section.
Yeah.
There's a whole nother, like, there's an off-brand section like over here, and then there's like the Hostess section over here.
Yep.
I mean,
literally
was
like
it
an
like
entire
deliberately
aisle.
Was it deliberately satire that they called her Little Debbie and then just made everything sugary and fat?
I don't know. They've been around for a long time too.
Yeah,
like a long time. Yeah, Devil Squares. It's like but yep.
See, we'd have stuff like that for sort of Mr. Kipling and things in the cake section.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, these are some of these things. Like this they don't sell as many of these as they used to, but yeah, they've also gotten progressively, like, this is the honey bun. They have a larger version that's covered in like vanilla glaze that's like twice the size of this one. Yeah.
The other thing I've noticed is all your supermarkets and stuff, they're way bigger than ours, even our biggest ones. So you have such more variety of like the junk food and things than we do.
Oh yeah, yep.
Like we may have a couple of aisles, like one of biscuits, one of sweets, and then that'll be it, and one of cakes maybe. But...
Yeah, we have a whole aisle dedicated to the chips, just chips, or crisps as you guys call them. Yeah, that's like just a whole aisle. There's an entire aisle of just the cookies.
Yeah, see, we probably merge those.
Yep. Yeah. Well, if you go, I'm trying to think, like, we do have an aisle. There's like aisles in Walmart and like other stores around us that are, what is it called? International brands. And it's just like one section.
That's what ours is,
yeah.
We have an American section, but it's stuff like nerds and stuff like that.
Just more sugar. We have nothing to offer anybody.
The entire American section is like pop and sweets. Like all of it.
Yeah.
That's that's pretty accurate though. Not gonna lie. That's sad. That's really sad. But
Well,
I mean, at least in the Chinese section, it's like noodles and various different sauces, but none of that in the American section. It's like sweets.
Just absolute garbage to feed yourself.
I think one of them is like toxic waste or something. It's like the sour sweets,
which
I ate once, and it just like for the next few days, skin in my mouth died and just started like peeling off. I'm like, I'm never eating this again. I don't know what it's done to me, but like it's actually killed a part of my body.
Yeah. I gotta show this one too.
Oh, but it was called toxic waste, so I should have known better, to be honest.
Yeah.
These aren't. So this is a thing. In some of our gas stations or service stations.
Oh yeah.
They make food and they sell food in them, and like they'll have like hot dogs and sausages on like a roll. These are one of these things. They're called rollers. They're literally just chewed up processed meat that they made into like a giant roll and then put like a breading coating on the outside.
Yeah,
this fruit looks so disgusting.
Is the only question I have for that.
If you fry anything, Americans will eat it. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter if it's the most terrible thing you can put in your body. Americans will eat it.
Yeah, well, like Scotland. Oh,
yeah, no, Scotland literally has like fish and chip shops that will batter anything that you bring in.
That's
and like
amazing.
One of the national dishes is like battered Mars bars.
That's
literally just deep fry a Mars bar.
Oh wow!
They're like wow. So see that like they do. Yeah, they put those on like rollers and they just leave them outside. They'll leave them on the rollers for hours, and people just come out and eat them. And then like every like 9 hours, they'll get rid of the one and put new ones out. Yeah.
One thing I'd like, I think it happened with Drunk. He went to a fast food place and ate something, and everyone's like, "No, you don't eat that. You'll get like food poisoning." And he ate it, and then he got ill from it. I was like, "See, I warned you." We wouldn't have anything like that. There's no like takeaways where it's like, "No, you can't eat there because you get food poisoning," and people still voluntarily go to it. That would just close down. But over there, it's like, "Nah, I've got an iron stomach. I can take it."
There are some of these gas stations actually sell sushi, but you know that you can't. You shouldn't eat the sushi
from a.
Yeah,
it's a bad idea. It's really bad.
Of course
idea.
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll see.
We're eating raw fish from a place that petrol fumes at gas stations. Getting into raw fish, that's can't help.
Oh man. Yeah. I was wondering.
That's how welcome to America. Yeah, this is we straight up do this and we think it's okay. Like it's just a whole section of that service station, and you go inside and they have just like sushi. Yep. In a deli cooler.
No.
You just
So
We
bad.
can't really get sushi over here in most places.
Really?
That's
There's
fair.
the odd bit from a supermarket, but not,
Yeah.
not from anywhere else.
This is my favorite. Please don't touch the sushi trays.
Is it not covered?
Sometimes the most of the time they're covered. Sometimes they're not though. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
No. Just sitting out there. Yep.
And the best part about it is if that doesn't get eaten, they'll just throw it in the dumpster somewhere or like out back.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Yep.
I know when Krista goes over there, she goes crazy over all the food. And I saw a video of her where she went in and just got like amazed at the range of food she got. She came out with like a massive jar that was about the size of her entire like body, full of cheese puffs or something.
Yeah, the
They were
cheese
just like
puff jar.
orange balls. And it was like
Yeah.
a massive thing. No, we don't sell food in that quantity over here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, everything's like yeah. Yeah, the cheese puff balls. Yeah, and the worst part is it's like eating like air. Like there's very little substance to them when you bite into them.
You get like
It's
a little
Is it like
flash of
Cheetos?
flavor, and
Do you have
that's about
Cheetos?
it.
Yeah, Cheetos are actually more dense than cheese puffs.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's what we have. Cadbury's over here do Aeros, and their specific thing about that chocolate is it mostly air. They're like so proud of it.
Oh,
Like,
really?
it's just their way of not giving you chocolate. That's all it is. It's like, well, it feels
Oh,
really smooth because of all the air. It's like, yeah, but you're still eating just like 70% of that doesn't exist.
Yeah. Some of our food is actually we have like over here like our ramen. We have like a really cheap, crappy ramen just called ramen noodles. That's the brand, whatever. And when they like, if you actually look into what they're made of, they're basically made of like cardboard. They're not even real noodles.
Yeah.
But
That's why they're
noodles
so
are like
cheap.
really cheap to make anyway. It's
Yeah.
just like flour and eggs and water, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they made it even cheaper than that by base. Like you can get an entire like box of ramen for like less than $1.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I always hear like when people I'm gonna be on ramen for the next couple of months kind of thing.
Yes, but
Yep.
it's basically made out of cardboard. Like people, they went into it. They're like, "This is not real food," and they're like, "Yeah, but I'm going to eat it because it's cheap."
There have been times in my adult life where I've had to survive on ramen and hot dogs because some of the hot dog brands that you can get, like the hot dogs, are so sus, but they're super cheap. And
Yeah, but yeah, our hot dogs are not made out of like people like normal meat. They're like horse hooves and stuff. No joke. Yeah, they just take the parts of the cow they couldn't sell.
I've done that before with custard creams, which they were like 14p for like a huge thing, and there's like maybe 2,500 calories in the entire box, about 70% fat, but it was 14p. I'm like, that'll do.
I can survive on this.
Yeah, so. But if you want, but a lot of people over here will just live off baked beans. There's a weird thing where they changed the cans from actually being tin into something else that, you know, was aluminium, I think it was. And nobody liked the baked beans anymore because they said they tasted horrible. And they worked out that the tin was seeping into the baked beans, and that's what people liked. So now our baked beans have tin flavoring put into the baked beans to keep it the same.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, I need that chemical taste in my.
Yeah.
No, if you haven't eaten baked beans in a while, because you get used to the flavor, but if you haven't, and there is a metallic taste to them, and I'm like, oh, that's nasty, but
Yeah.
Wow.
people like what they like.
Yeah.
Well,
I
over
didn't know
here we
that
have like
baked beans was such a big deal over there, to be honest. Like,
Oh yeah, baked beans
Yeah.
on toast and stuff. So
That's crazy.
staple kind of thing.
yeah, we don't. I don't do that. I don't know anybody that puts baked beans on toast here, to be honest.
Well, I don't like it. Like, this is where I don't agree with the whole Ryan and Jeremy, you know, you don't put cereal in milk argument, but I can kind of see where they're coming from, because I'm the same with beans on toast. It makes the toast soggy, and so I'd eat it separately, but never together.
Right.
Yeah.
But
It
then
makes
I get
sense.
to cereal,
Yeah.
I'm like, no, that's weird.
Soggy bread is terrible. I can't stand soggy bread.
No.
Like,
Oh,
you
it's
know.
awful.
yeah.
Well, yeah, the
People-
entire point of toasting bread is that it goes, like, firm.
Yeah.
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 I went through various different adverbs there, or adjectives. I thought a stiff. I'm not saying that.
Firm.
So thanks
that'll
God that's been avoided.
Yeah.
Rigid.
Mm.
My favorite. Somebody mentioned hot Cheetos, and over here. This is what's crazy. The hot Cheetos over here can be used in an emergency as a heat source because they burn really, really, really slow when you set them on fire, but they stay
Really?
lit. Yeah, for
Really?
like a significant amount of time. Yeah.
That's good to know.
Yeah, if you ever get in trouble, just get a bag of Flaming Hot Cheetos and just light them on fire, and they'll stay lit for a long time.
Huh.
I've seen a guy who was building like a rocket-propelled buggy, and he wanted to make like essentially solid fuel rockets are the easiest ones to do. So he just filled it full of peanut butter and then set it on fire. And it just this buggy went. His issue was he couldn't stop until all the peanut butter was burned. So you've got to work out the maths.
Yeah, it's so.
But he
crazy.
says it's because it's very high calorie and sugar and it's dense, so it's a great rocket fuel.
That's nuts, dude. Yeah,
Wow.
it's a mess. Well,
Yeah, it's a good.
America's a mess.
Yeah, at least we get to eat all sorts of crazy stuff. So,
And
Sure.
nut butter.
Yeah.
The nut butter. We get to have nut butter all over our stuff. It's great.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
In fact, I think Nature Valley's. I could get this wrong, but someone is like just as nature intended, and I think it might be theirs. But it's just like nut butter as nature intended.
Oh man.
Oh man, I don't know if that's worse or if Little Debbie's Nutty Buddy is worse. I don't know. Yeah. Yikes.
Yeah.
Um.
Yeah, dude.
It's like they knew that it wasn't a nice thing to say, so they tried to sort of make it fun and happy. It's a nutty buddy. It's like, oh.
Well, it used to be. I think it used to be called Nutter Butter, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's what the.
No, that's even a different one. There's another one
is
called
that-
Nutter Butter. Yeah, that's a different brand of something
Really?
as well.
Really.
Yeah.
What?
Yep, Nutter Butter is a different brand too. That's not even the same as Nutty Buddies.
Oh yeah, Nutter Butter. That's the brand that on Twitter they have like a really crazy Twitter account and they make all sorts of innuendos all the time. So
Yep, that makes sense.
yeah. But yeah, I think that's gonna about wrap it up for today. Disapprove. I know that you're just crushing it over there on your channel, but you got anything going on? Any specific shows that you're going to be reviewing or anything like that? Or
The next show to review will be She-Hulk, because I think that's going to be an absolute disaster. And then
does that
after
come
that,
out this week?
18th.
18th. Okay. All right.
Yeah. They moved from a Wednesday to a Thursday, and it's really weird because there were loads of shows I wanted to review, and they were going to start crossing over. And then one moved. I think it was Andor that moved to Wednesday, so then that was going to counter out She-Hulk. And then She-Hulk moved in response to Andor, and like, this is simultaneously great because I could technically review all of them, but every single day I'll be reviewing a really awful show. And I don't know if I want to do that, so
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm definitely doing She-Hulk, but after that we'll see.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yikes.
Yeah, so make sure that you go subscribe to Disbrew. Just dropped a link to his channel in the chat. Mike, what do you have going on?
Yeah, man. Catch me on, Twitch. I'll probably be streaming later today, maybe. I don't know. We'll
Better.
see. If I have time.
You better.
If I have time. But yeah, you catch me there. I'm like 4 people away from 900 followers on there, so we're rocking it. Trying to get there. Yeah, I'm 4 away right now.
Yeah,
But yeah, so you can check
follow
me
Mike,
there.
everyone. Follow him
Wow.
and chew him
Yeah,
out.
thanks.
Get him to stream. Do it.
Yeah.
Do
I
it.
mean, wow. So yeah, you can do that. You can catch me this Monday. I'm gonna be on G&G Tabletop. We're doing episode 3 of Secrets of the Frost Maiden. Hopefully, we'll get Quarter Black and Nick on the same stream. That would be pretty cool, because it's either Ricada or Quarter Black, and we don't know if they might be the same person, and just we're not sure yet. But yeah, so you catch me there. Catch me, this Sunday on Mario Kart on Geeks and Gamers. And then you can catch me here every week. So yeah, there you go.
Boom. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. And with that being said, thank you so much, everyone. We appreciate you all coming out. This show is every Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard. So make sure that you show back up next week, and we'll probably continue with more Ben slamming and everything else. And yeah, when Rings
That
of
was a
Power...
weird pause. We'll probably continue with more Ben. It was like...
and obviously when Rings of Power comes out, we'll definitely be talking about that on this show. So thank you so much, everyone. Have a great rest of your weekend, and we'll talk to you all later. Bye.
Yeah.
See ya.